What is going on, everybody? How we doing? Thursday evening, training camp underway. And I know everybody's tuning in to hear me and Fisk talk about the guy in the screen, which is Daniel Jones. Fisk was kind enough to come on here after I I didn't text him, but I went on his video. I instant messaged him on Twitter. So let's talk about Daniel Jones. Let's talk about it. Because obviously Fisk didn't like the things that I had to say. And I said, well, let's straighten it out. So he was kind enough to oblige and come on tonight. So shout out to him. You can subscribe to Fisk Vegas. Link is in the description. First thing there. Subscribe to the man. He's good people. We just don't see eye to eye on this. So he told me to go first, so I'm going to go first. Fisk, just let him know you're in the house.
Hey, what's good, y'all? It's the hardest voice of sports. Fisk Vegas on Baddog channel. You know what I'm saying? It's been too long, man. I'm just happy to be here. We're going to iron this out like men. But at the end of the day, we in Baddog cool. You know what I'm saying? But we going to have it out. But, you know, everybody, it's all good.
That's right. That's right. As Fisk would say, let's rock.
Exactly.
All right. So this is here is my stance on Daniel Jones. No, Fisk didn't like the Jonestown thing. Now, the Jonestown thing had nothing to do with Fisk or Cop Pizzle or anybody that supports Daniel Jones. What it had to do with is those that worship him. Fisk, you weren't texting me. I mean, you got my number. Other people don't, but you got my number. You weren't texting me or IMing me or DMing me or in my live stream or in my chat. Where's the video, Baddog? You had a good practice. Where's the video? Where's the video? I mean, I have a screenshot it out on Instagram. Guys like, oh, but where's Baddog's video? It must have been too positive. So that's what that is. When I talk about Jonestown and the cult of Daniel Jones, first and foremost, the cult is a small group of people. It's not a big group of people. Comparatively to the world's population, cults are a small group of people that they believe very strongly in a person. And no matter how many facts and no matter how many things you tell them that's wrong, they will just blindly follow their leader. It don't matter. You can't change your mind. They don't want to hear anything from anything. And they're always going to tell you you're wrong. And no matter what you do, no matter how much you say, they go, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And then as soon as something else happens, like, where are you at? Where are you at? When they can just disappear. Daniel Jones, I look at it this way. People are always saying to me, oh, man, you hate on Daniel Jones. You hate. Like I heard you and Cop Pizzle say, Giants fans turn their back on the team. See, that's not true. If we turn our back on the team, it will mean we're not showing up at the games. We're not watching the games. We're not investing our time. We're not buying the memorabilia. We're not buying the jerseys and the hats. We're not doing that. If we turn our back on the team, it's because we lose interest. The way I look at it is this. When I make a video, if he performs good, I say he performs good. The first day of training camp, there is a video on my page that says Daniel Jones and Kadarius Toney shine in training camp. So obviously, I talk positively about Daniel Jones. When he has a bad training camp or a practice, and I'm talking about the practice. Yeah, I know we're talking about practice, but my content is practice. You say it's filler content, and it kind of is filler content. It's preseason content. We're getting ready for the season, so it's my preseason content. But if he has a bad practice, I'm going to say he has a bad practice. People tend to believe that, oh, you just hate Daniel Jones. You hate him. And it's so far from the truth. All I do is talk about their performance. And it's not my fault that more often than not, he's performed poorly and the Giants have performed poorly. If I was hating on Daniel Jones when he had a good game, I would either ignore it or I would point out a little flaw that he had. Like if he threw for 347 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick, and I was like, oh, the interception. Why are you throwing an interception? That's hating on him. I just give my opinion on what I see. And it's not just Daniel Jones. It was Evan Ingram. It was Joe Judge. It was Pat Shermer. It didn't matter. The list goes on and on and on and on and on because I can't stand losing. I hate losing. And I know that you guys are like, oh, you know, you got to support the team and this and that. And I get it. But voicing our displeasure towards players or poor performance, that's not turning your back or not supporting the team. I'm going to end it with this little analogy, and then I'll let you have the floor. I work for the state of New York. I handle a lot of budgetary things for all the schools in New York. I handle a lot of budgets. I do payroll. If I, for a year straight, right? Or even 6 months out of the year, if I was showing up late, calling in sick, putting money in the wrong budget code, paying people out of the wrong budget code, getting the salaries mixed up, and I had a bad year. At the end of the year, when I get my yearly review, my boss is not going to give me a favorable review. He's going to say, you messed this up. This is unsatisfactory. You've been coming in late every day. You know, you messed this up over here. You put the money in the wrong code over here. You did this incorrectly. Is my boss hating on me because I didn't do my job? Or is he just saying you didn't do your job, so you don't get a good evaluation? Whereas if everything was perfect and I did everything right and everything was good, everything was, you know, oh, you did this well, you got that project done on time, you actually had time to spare, you're able to do some extra credit, I'm going to get a good review if I do my job right, right? So if I don't do my job and he gives me a bad review, which is, in my opinion, us booing him or just voicing our displeasure, saying that was a terrible game, he has not played well, he's been bad. How am I hating on him? Like, how am I turning my back on him or not supporting him if I just talk about the way he performs in a game, good or bad?
Okay, so here's the problem. That analogy is incomplete because you're under the assumption that Daniel Jones has performed poorly, and that's a lie. It's not even a debatable that Daniel Jones has performed well for this team for 3 years. For 3 years, he's been the best player on this team. Since day one, Daniel Jones has been the best player on this team. Statistically, he had one of the best rookie seasons of all time. Statistically, the 24-12 in 12 games, the 18-point comeback, the 5-touchdown win versus Washington in overtime. He's the only rookie quarterback ever to have multiple 350-yard pass games with 4+ touchdowns without an interception in NFL history. He did that his rookie year. He also threw a touchdown the first 16 starts of his career. That's what he did. Year two, let's call a spade a spade. Evan Ingram catches that ball, we're in the playoffs. If the Eagles don't tank, we're in the playoffs. Call a spade a spade. Daniel Jones should have a division title under his belt. The most swept under the rug game in the history of the Giants franchise is Daniel Jones beating the Cowboys at 1 o'clock. If Daniel Jones does not beat that Dallas team at 1 o'clock, we can't root for the Eagles at 8 o'clock, period. Year 3, last year, Daniel Jones came out of the gates like a bat out of hell, destroyed Washington. Evan Ingram dropped the ball. Dexter Lawrence is offsides. That ain't his fault. When he left the field versus Atlanta, we was in position to win that game. The last time we saw Daniel Jones on the field versus Atlanta, he trucked Grady Jarrett to get a 2-point conversion. He then goes to New Orleans and has a 10-point comeback in the fourth quarter and beats them in overtime. One of his best games. Nobody want to talk about that. We then go to Carolina. The whole team is hurt. Saquon's not there. Andrew Thomas isn't there. Shepard ain't there. Galladay ain't there. Tony ain't there. He takes that bum Darius Slay and whoever else is on the field, and he beats Carolina when Carolina was still good. He also beat the Raiders, who were a playoff team. And the last time we saw Daniel Jones, he Kurt Angled the Eagles. The last time we saw Daniel Jones, he beat the Eagles with a broke neck. That's the last time we saw him. The last time Daniel Jones played for the New York Football Giants, we were a game out of the wild card spot with tiebreakers over the Eagles and tiebreakers over the Saints. And that's a fact. When Daniel Jones got hurt, you saw what the Giants really are. When you took the best player off of the team, Daniel Jones is our best player by a mile. When you took him off the team, we couldn't cross the 50. Hell, we couldn't even get a first down. We were so pathetic. Joe Judge was calling QB sneaks just to punt the ball back. We literally went from being in position to make a late playoff push to get a wild card spot with Daniel Jones to being a laughing stock, a complete and utter joke of a franchise because we lost one player. Last time I checked, Baddog, Galladay was out there. Tony was out there. Saquon was out there. Andrew Thomas was out there. Why we ain't win? Daniel Jones was the only person missing down the stretch last year, and we didn't do nothing. I saw the Ravens win with a backup. I saw the Cardinals win with a backup. Why we can't win with a backup? So at the end of the day, to quote the great Freddie Kitchens, and I say that jokingly, he's not great, but to quote Freddie Kitchens, when Daniel Jones got hurt, we couldn't hide the flaws anymore. He was the deodorant. He called on deodorant because he elevated everybody the best of his ability, and he covered up all the flaws. Daniel Jones, since day one, has had to put up with bad coaching, a horrible offensive line, and filth at the skill positions. Evan Ingram was trash. Darius Slayton was trash. Shepard's never healthy. Galladay wasn't healthy last year, and Tony was always had a rib problem, COVID. Something's always wrong with Tony. Daniel Jones has literally been the reason we have won every single stinking game the last 3 years, with the exception of that Seattle game. And the fact that he couldn't get a fifth-year option, or he has people like you, Baddog, who only highlight the negatives of the Giants and lump him in with that, is disrespectful and it's shameful, because he does not deserve any blame for the last 3 years. Because without Daniel Jones, we freaking go 0-16, and I think the last 6 weeks of the season, it proved that. I don't understand why y'all hate this kid. I don't understand why y'all overly criticize him. As a Giants community, we need to protect him. We need to give him a reason to be happy. I heard a rumor that he literally avoids social media because every time he turns around, it's something negative. You got hurt season hats being worn by Nick Sirianni and A.J. Brown. You got Washington fans trying to convince the world that Carson Wentz is the answer. You got Cowboy fans really trying to tell themselves that Dak is going to elevate the wide receiving core without CeeDee and Michael Gallup. I mean, not CeeDee, without Amari and Michael Gallup. And then you go to New York, and in New Yorkers, it's like, oh, this is a rebuilding year, man. We going to stink this year. Daniel Jones ain't the guy. We going to get Will Levis, who puts mayonnaise in his coffee next season. That's the energy that most of you Giants content creators put out there. So when I hear Baddog talking about something to quote to Daniel Jones, I'm the only one. Me and my co-host, Kyle Pizzle on the Giants Outsiders, are the only two content creators that defend Daniel Jones. So when it was brought to my attention that Baddog does a video about, oh yeah, the cult of Daniel Jones in Jonestown, and I'm like, okay, he must be talking about me and my subscribers, because who the hell else has defended Daniel Jones? Where are they? Other than my subscribers in the videos I put out, who got something nice to say about DJ? I'm still waiting for somebody to point me to the content creator that consistently says nice things about Danny.
Well, all right. So there's more than just content creators on YouTube. There's a bunch of typers. There's a bunch of people that subscribe that don't make videos that come into the stream and stick up for Daniel Jones. Like I said, when I'm getting IM'd and DM'd and people are leaving messages, where's your Daniel Jones video? That's not directed towards you. There's a big community besides the content creators. This is the thing with me. I don't worry about other content creators' content. I make my own content. I don't care what their opinions are. Everybody's entitled to make whatever content they want. Their opinion's fine. I will never criticize a content creator for their opinion, because I think it takes balls to come out here and show your face, or say, show up every week, every day, making a video, knowing that if you're wrong, you got to come back here and say you were wrong. But I'm also going to say this. You can say, oh, we won all these games because of Daniel Jones. He's 12-25 as a starter. He is 12-25 as a starter. He's got 21 touchdowns and 17 interceptions in his last 2 years. And in his career, he's got more turnovers and touchdowns. He does not progress at all. I saw a super chat that somebody left you in the video, and he said, Daniel Jones can make all the throws. He's mobile and he's accurate. And then he said, if I went and said that to someone else's channel, I'd get ripped apart. And I'm thinking to myself, that's bullshit, because anybody on my channel, anybody will tell you I have never, ever said Daniel Jones physically cannot perform. As a matter of fact, I think Daniel Jones' physical skill set is in the top 15. I put him right up there with Dak Prescott. I put him right up there with Derek Carr. He's 6'5". He is accurate. He is mobile. And he's got a good arm, and he's good. I mean, he can play physically. Unfortunately, that's part of the game. He has not progressed in the pocket. He's insecure in the pocket. He doesn't feel the rush. He can't elude the rush. And he makes very poor decisions. He's hesitant, especially in the red zone, which is why we do not score points. And if you look at his mobility, it's always on designed runs. It is not on him just scrambling. And when he scrambles, he gets hurt. So, and the other thing is, I don't just make negative Daniel Jones content. Go back and look at my channel. Go back and look at after the Saints game. I was the guy on here saying this guy's going to be better than Dak Prescott. This guy's going to be better than Mitch Trubisky. This guy's going to be better than Dwayne Haskins, God rest his soul. This guy's going to be better than Sam Darnold. As a matter of fact, I know I was one of the first people to say Danny Dimes. People say that I came up with that. I'm not going to take credit for that, but I was one of the first people to say that. I was on board with this kid. I supported him. Rookie season, I said, shit, this kid's going to be really good. Second season, I said, that's okay. New system, no training camp. It's 2020. It's a weird year. 2021, I started to fall off. I said, this kid ain't progressing in the pocket. This kid still can't read defenses. What do you mean, what did he do?
Now, when you say he fell off in 2021, that's where you lose me, because I'm like, last year, we were fine. We were fine till he got hurt. He was winning games. He won as much as he could with the most inept coaching staff on planet Earth. No offensive line, and skill position players that were always hurt, including Saquon. He's the only reason we won games. Like, you gotta, and you're talking about the pocket. What pocket, bad dog? What pocket? He didn't have a line.
In 2020, he held onto the ball the third longest in the NFL. Last year, he held onto the ball the sixth longest in the NFL because, again, he is hesitant in the pocket. His pre-snap reads are bad. The reason, a huge reason that Saquon Barkley had the year he had in 2018 was because Eli Manning could read defenses and put Saquon Barkley in the best position to succeed. And his receivers, Victor Cruz, Hakeem Nicks, they'll all tell you that Eli Manning was able to do that because you have to be a cerebral quarterback on top of being physical. Let me ask you this, Fisk. The Texans in 2020 were god-awful. God-awful. They didn't have DeAndre Hopkins. They had nothing. They were 4-12, but Deshaun Watson led the league in passing yards of 4,800. He had 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. How come Deshaun Watson can perform at that level with a bunch of scrubs? How come Matt Stafford could be a Pro Bowl quarterback every year on the Detroit Lions after Calvin Johnson retired and still put up great numbers on horrible teams and then go to the Rams and win a Super Bowl? Why can quarterbacks like that elevate and be better and put up good numbers? Why can't Daniel Jones do that? But that's the thing. It's his line. It's his coach. At the end of the day, Fisk, at the end of the day, is he good or not? At the end of the day, what is his record? At the end of the day, is he?
You said, why can't he put up numbers on a bad team? That 24-12 he had in his rookie year, that was throwing to Caden Smith, Darius Slayton with no offensive line. So don't say he can't put up numbers on a bad team. Don't say that, because
how many turnovers did he have in 20?
Who cares? Brett Favre was winning MVPs, leading the league in interceptions. Eli Manning led the league in interceptions 3 times. Stop burying Daniel Jones for turnovers when everybody else shot praise, turned the ball over all the damn time.
But they won. They won.
He's won the best of his abilities. If Daniel Jones wasn't the quarterback of this team, we would be habitually 0-16 to 2-14. It showed. When Daniel Jones, here's my thing, all you Daniel Jones people who say he hasn't progressed and Daniel Jones is this, he's that, he's this, he's that. Why didn't we get better when he got hurt? Why did we get significantly worse? If this was baseball, they had this thing called wins above replacement. It almost won Mike Trout with MVP over Miguel Cabrera, and he won a triple count. It's called wins above replacement. Daniel Jones literally is that much. He elevated this sorry offense that much that it looked competent when he was there. Let that sink in. Daniel Jones got hurt and bad, though. We couldn't get first downs. Forget crossing the 50, my friend. We couldn't get first downs without Daniel Jones. Nobody talks about that. Why doesn't anybody bring that up? It's the cool thing to do is bury Daniel Jones. Nobody talks about how he beat the Saints. Nobody wants to talk about how he beat the Raiders. Nobody wants to talk about how he's owned the Eagles since he's got to the team, some Eli Manning couldn't do. Nobody points out the good in what he does. They focus on these fake criticisms of him that don't exist. He doesn't have an offensive line. How are you going to criticize this kid for being in a pocket, holding on to the ball too long, when any other quarterback would be running for their lives and throwing 50,000 picks a game? Daniel Jones has no offensive line, and he still stands tall in that pocket and tries to deliver a strike. That ball he threw to Darius Slayton, he got decapitated on that ball. He stood tall in the pocket and delivered a strike to that man, and he dropped it. That ain't DJ fault. Daniel Jones, when we have needed this boy to show up, he showed up every time. He showed up versus the Eagles in Washington and Dallas in those division games. He showed up versus the Saints. He showed up versus the Raiders. By the way, 2020, he had one of the best 2-minute drives of his career versus the Bucs. Remember, he got the ball back on like the 10-yard line. He drove down, got a touchdown, and they called back the 2-point conversion on Daniel Jones. People don't talk about that. Daniel Jones has been pouring perfume on a pig since he's got to this sorry-ass franchise. The Giants, since that boat trip, have been the worst franchise in the NFL. The Jaguars have a better winning record. The Browns with 0-16 and still have a better record than the Giants. We have been poverty since that boat trip. The only good thing about us is Daniel Jones. If we didn't have Daniel Jones, we would literally be going 0-17 next season. We wouldn't stand a damn chance. And it's okay for Trevor Lawrence to be garbage, and everybody blamed Urban Meyer, but Daniel Jones just had the most inept offensive coaching staff in the history of football, and everybody don't give a damn. It's all Daniel Jones' fault. You're supposed to make the Clapper offense work. You're supposed to make Freddie Kitchens play calling work. You're supposed to make Joe Judge, the incompetent Joe Judge, who cost us a game at Kansas City, by the way, because Daniel Jones was moving the ball down the field the last 2 minutes, but we didn't have timeouts because Joe Judge wants to curse people out on the sideline and give Mahomes extra plays at the goal line, but we don't want to talk about that. Joe Judge cost us more games than Daniel Jones did. And here's one more thing. Giants fans got some nerve to criticize Daniel Jones when Eli Manning would have been under 500 for his career if Daniel Jones didn't turn his ankle in Lambeau. If Daniel Jones doesn't turn his ankle in Green Bay, Eli Manning retires under 500. So y'all can't be holding Daniel Jones to Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. If we were the Colts, the Patriots, if we were some franchise that had a great quarterback and you wanted to shit on Danny, I would be more receptive to it. But we're the Giants. We've had mediocre at the position all of our lives. And you're going to hold Daniel Jones to some mythical standard that he don't deserve to be held to? No, that's BS. We've been more competitive the last 3 years of Daniel Jones than we were for a decade under Eli Manning. And that's not debatable. Period.
Let me get a couple of these super chats and I'll respond. DB, thank you, brother. He says, what up, Baddog? Shout out Fisk Vegas. Oops, I mean Vegas. 2 goats. Thank you, sir. And then again, thank you, DB. He says Fisk Mayweather.
Watch your mouth, DB. Watch your mouth.
Sam Borowski, thank you, brother. I says, I love Baddog, but mad respect for what Fisk Vegas is saying. Don't sleep on DJ. Let's see. There's a couple more. I don't know how people hold these things up. John, man, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. He says, great debate, guys. Respect to both of you. I hope DJ can play well this season and we could get some wins. That is really the goal, is the Giants got to win some damn games. That's why everybody's so pissed off. But again, I'm going to respond to this. Let me just make sure I didn't miss one here.
When they say they hope Daniel plays well, like, he's always played well. The question is, can Brian Daboll's offense get the best out of his talent? This ain't the NBA where you could just be your best and win games. No, you need a good coaching staff. You just do. Yeah. And I think Daniel Jones has finally got that. But my bad dog. Go ahead.
Peace and love. Thank you, brother. He says, if you're so down on DJ, who's the replacement for him? I don't know. We might find out next year. If DJ is so great, how come Brian Daboll and Joe Shane didn't go, we're picking up the 5th-year option and bringing him back? How come they don't have faith in him? I mean, why don't they bring him back? Of course, we're not going to win. Mike Glennon and Jake Fromm. People actually thought Jake Fromm was going to be good. I don't know what the hell they were smoking. I knew Jake Fromm sucked. I watched him play at Georgia. He was terrible.
I hold that. I try to be optimistic. I did. I tried to be optimistic on him. I tried.
Mark, thank you, brother. What up, Baddog? What up, Fisk? What up, Mark?
What's
how
good,
you doing?
Man? What's good, Mark?
Here's the difference. Number one, Eli Manning won games. Eli Manning, when he went 11-5 his first full year and won the division.
I'm talking about from post 2011. He had 5 double-digit losing seasons. But go ahead.
Yeah, he had 5 double-digit losing seasons, but in 2014, 2015, the man had the best statistical seasons of his career. He threw 35 touchdowns and 14 picks in 2015. He should have won the MVP in 2011. I mean, he carried that.
I'll agree with that. 2011 Eli was
so. I mean, this is the thing. He won. You win in New York, it's different. You guys are talking about New Yorkers, and I'm going to tell you this right now. You're right. Up here. And I don't live in a city. It's probably 100 times worse down there. But up here, it is nothing but hustle. My whole life is nothing but hustle. I am always in a hurry. We're in a hurry. Time is money up here. It's a fact. I work 45 hours a week. I go to the gym another 10 hours a week. I try to grow my freaking YouTube channel when I should be sleeping. I'm trying to raise a 5-year-old and I'm married. So, yes, I am constantly in a hurry. I constantly feel hurried. But I'm also sick and tired of freaking losing. I'm sick of it. And the other thing is you keep saying nobody's giving him credit. Fisk, look at my damn channel. When he plays well, I give him credit. I don't ever go, oh, Jesus, he sucked against New Orleans. I never blamed him for Washington. Shit, that might have been the best game he ever had. He had a 32-yard touchdown run called back because of some phantom holding call. Darius Slayton dropped a wide open touchdown, and Dexter Lawrence was offsides. I mean, I don't, when he plays well, I give him credit. That's my point. When he's good, I don't just ignore it and go, he sucks. He played really well. I said, can he keep it up, though? Can he be consistent? Fisk, he hasn't been consistent. There's no consistency. We don't know what we're getting from Daniel Jones from week to week.
What? What do you mean? Because he shows up every week. The worst game Daniel Jones ever played was the game that got Garrett fired at Tampa Bay. But I don't know if you know Baddog, because I don't know if you got better information than me. But it wasn't the Eagle game that got Daniel hurt. It actually allegedly got hurt in the bucket. No,
the Buck game, right?
So as far as I'm concerned, the worst game of Daniel Jones' career really was that bucket. That was the first time the Giants were like not competitive under Danny. Normally we're competitive and then we lose late. But we just got like annihilated by the Bucs that game. But other than that, he's more consistent than Eli was. Let's just call it what it is.
Why do people compare Daniel Jones to Eli Manning?
Because he's a better player through 3 seasons than he was through his first 3 years.
I told you, Eli Manning got better every year. Eli Manning was top 5 in the league in touchdowns the second year in the league. They won 11 games. They made the playoffs every year from 2005 to 2011 and won 2 Super Bowls.
Look at the coaching staff. Look at the offensive line. Look at Tiki Barber. Look at Plexico, Toomer, Shockey. Daniel Jones has Slayton, Caden Smith, and Nick Solder. and Saquon was always hurt. I mean, come on. No, it's just like, come on.
The other thing is, you talk about the game when they called the 2-point conversion back. What happened on that play? Go back and look at it. I forgot the running back. He's wide open. Daniel Jones hesitates and throws the ball behind him. He's wide open. Everyone's like, oh, the receivers can't get separation. In the NFL, if you're a step ahead of the defender, you are wide open. Quarterbacks need to throw the receiver open in the NFL. That is something he hasn't done because he doesn't anticipate. It's between his ears. This is why I'm so hard on him, because physically he's gifted, and I've never questioned it, ever. Like I said, skill set, I'll put him right near the top 10 as far as physical skills go. But he doesn't read defenses. He doesn't check off. He doesn't know where the blitz is coming from. He doesn't audible the line of scrimmage. He doesn't change the blocking schemes. He stares down receivers. He pats the ball when he gets nervous. That's got to stop. And this is year 4, and we're still talking about what is this? We're still making excuses that all this happened and that happened. Like I said, how come Deshaun Watson can put up 5,000 passing yards and 33 touchdowns on a 4-win team? How come he can put up those numbers and Daniel Jones can't? You can't tell me it's coaching.
Yes, it is. Oh, this is a scheme.
The Texans have good coach.
This is a scheme.
The Texans have a good coach.
Pep Hamilton is light years better than Joe Judge and Jason Garrett. Pep Hamilton is light years better. Huh? Come on, stop the cap. That was Bill O'Brien. No. That was the Bill O'Brien offensive coaching staff. So, yeah, most definitely. Hell yeah. That was Bill O'Brien's offensive coaching staff. Most definitely, yes.
So you think it's just coaching. You don't think that the player has to perform. It's the coach.
Baddog, let me ask you a question, Baddog. How the hell do you go from 24-12 in 12 games to throwing 20 touchdowns in 2 years? That's Jason Garrett, and this is on record. Colin Cowherd, I was watching Colin Cowherd's show. He was like, yo, I had dinner with Jason Garrett. We had these conversations. They told Daniel Jones to stop being aggressive. If you turn the ball over, you will be benched. We want you to be conservative. Stop pushing the ball. What did Joe Judge do? Joe Judge didn't want Daniel Jones to push the ball. He wanted him to throw checkdowns, move the sticks so they could control the clock and play field position. This is what happened. It's the coaching staff. So now you got Brian Dable coming in, and he's like, no, throw the damn ball down the field. Throw the ball. Throw picks, make mistakes. We want points. We want to play with pace. We want to get these guys in space. How the hell do you have an offense in 2021 that doesn't motion? We were 32nd in motion. The offensive, Giants fans listening to this video right now. Our offense was so trash that we went to training camp and were doing backflips because we saw Kadarius Toney motion across the damn field. That's how horrible our offense was, that when we got to training camp, y'all cheered when a wide receiver went in motion. Let that sink in. Let that sink in for a second.
I have never denied that Daniel Jones is in a crappy situation. But again, he has not progressed in the pocket.
He stopped turning the ball over, Baddog.
He stopped turning the ball over, but he stopped scoring points. He still didn't stop turning the ball over. He's got 17 picks and 21 touchdowns and 17 interceptions in the last 2 years.
But how many? That he had what, like 25 total turnovers his rookie year. He had 12 interceptions and what, like 12 fumbles lost. So he in 2 years he had like 8 less turnovers than he did his rookie year. I called that progression. Eli never stopped turning the ball over. Brett Favre never stopped turning the ball over. Jameis Winston still turns the ball over. So for Daniel Jones to eliminate his turnover problem, give the boy some credit.
Oh, listen, he gets credit for, and I'm going to tell you something. Another reason, and this is another reason why he struggles. Okay? People have film on him now. When you don't have film on a guy and he's brand new, he should be able to light you up. He should. But once people get acclimated and they study the film and the defenders study the film and they say, he's got this tendency and he's got that tendency and I'm going to jump around. What about the pass? What about the pass he threw to the defensive tackle that was laying on the ground?
Yeah, who got fired? Who got fired immediately?
Yeah, but still, I get Jason Garrett's a shitty coach. I get it. But Jason Garrett didn't throw that pass.
He called the play.
But Jason Garrett did not say roll out to the right, throw the ball perpendicular to the line of scrimmage with no receiver in that area. He didn't say to do that. That was not the play.
The way that play developed, it looked like it. The way the play
developed,
it looked like it.
What it looked like to me is Daniel Jones didn't know what the hell he was doing. That's what it looked like to me. So that's a difference of opinion.
Well, what about
it was terrible.
You bring up that play, right? You bring up that
play. I'm just saying that's just an example.
Head taken off. But what about when he stands in the pocket, gets his head taken off by a linebacker, and delivers a strike to Darius Slayton or Everett Ingram and it gets dropped?
I agree. I don't deny that. I don't deny that he's in a bad situation. I don't deny that, but he should be getting better.
Highlight that, Baddog. Let me tell you something.
Fisk, every quarterback in the league should be doing that. You're an NFL quarterback. You're supposed to stand in there, take a hit, and deliver. That is his job. That's his job.
Do that, though. A lot of them don't sit in the pocket and take those hits. He's very Andrew Luckish, and I give him credit for that. A lot of these quarterbacks, they run around, they get the ball out there. Mitchell Trubisky looks petrified when he gets blitzed. Jared Goff looks petrified when he gets blitzed. Tom Brady looks petrified when he's getting hit. Daniel Jones will stand tall. Okay, hurry up, Slayton. Hurry up, Slayton. Please hurry up, Slayton. Oh, damn, I got hit.
Let me get to a couple of these real quick. Dashy, thank you for the super chat. He says, no pineapple on a pizza. Fisk, what's your take on pineapple on a pizza?
I mean, I really don't care. I mean, I know you Italians can't stand it.
Yeah, we
I
don't
know
put,
y'all can't
we
stand
don't
it.
put
Me
pineapple on
personally, you know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna have pineapple on my pizza, but I mean, look, I just know I know you Italians can't stand it. Me, I'm like, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not eating it. I'm not putting pineapple on cheese and sauce. It's not happening.
All right, Fisk just scored big time points over here. He needed them.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's really disgusting.
He
Yeah,
just scored big time
disgusting.
points. He just scored big time points in the Italian community. Get back, thank you for the super chat. He says Fisk Vegas is officially on drugs. Ah.
Ash, watch your mouth, Ash. I'm gonna see you on my channel tomorrow. Watch your mouth, Ash.
Chef Oz, thank you, brother. He says, how dare you slander Caden Smith, Fisk? Chef every week would bet that that Caden Smith would score the first touchdown for the Giants. That was his guy. He said he was our secret weapon. The coaches were terrible. He had Joe effing Judge, boys.
That's my point. That's what I've been trying to say. It's like, how do you go from, all right, Shermer was a lot of things, but damn it, he knew how to coach offense. And I'm just sitting back like, okay, Shermer's an Andy Reid guy. Daniel Jones looked real good under that Andy Reid-esque offense. And now we got Mike Kafka, who was a pass game coordinator in Kansas City. Now we got Brian Dable, who was drawing up all those crazy Stephon Diggs plays. Daniel Jones will ball next season, and a lot of y'all going to have to eat y'all words.
See, this is the thing. I want to be wrong about it. I don't, and that's what brings it back. This is my original point, Fisk. Again, tell me when Daniel Jones has played well, tell me when I haven't given him credit. Tell me when I haven't given him credit. Tell me when no. This was my entire point about when I talk about Daniel Jones. I only talk about the performance that I see, whether that's training camp, and I'm talking about the day of camp. If he has a bad day, I say he has a bad day. I've had 2 videos and saying he struggled, and I've had 2 videos saying he was great. So I don't differentiate. I don't just focus on the negative. Unfortunately for Daniel Jones, there has been a lot more lowlights in his career than highlights. But so when they're losing and he hasn't played well, and I do a post-game video and he's the quarterback of the Giants, yes, I'm going to say he played like shit. He sucked.
How much of it's his fault, though?
But it doesn't matter.
A lot of this ain't his fault.
See, this is my thing. It doesn't matter. It is his fault. He is part of it. You can't blame everything around him and not give him any blame. You can't.
Okay,
the quarterback of a football team is the most focal point. It is the most important position, and maybe they get way too much credit when they win, and maybe they get way too much blame when they lose, but that is the nature of the beast, and that's just the way it is. But like I said, to my original point, I don't just focus on negative aspects of Daniel Jones. I focus on his performance, and I talk about his performance, like I said, whether that's a training camp video, whether that's a preseason game video, whether that's a regular season game video. He plays well. I did not blame him for the loss against Washington. I said he was amazing against the Saints, and I'm pretty sure I even mentioned that. That's why he drives me crazy, because I know that that's there. And I said he played with confidence, and he just let the ball go. And if he would just be more decisive in the pocket and be able to feel that rush and just have confidence in his throws, he'd be so much better, Fisk. That is why he drives me mad, because physically he's there. I'm not saying this guy sucks. Jalen Hurts sucks, okay? That guy's got no mechanics.
And I'm about to get to that in a second.
He sucks. And of course, listen, I'm going to tell you, they made the playoffs last year, so Eagle fans are riding high. They had a great offseason.
Because Daniel Jones got hurt. That's why they made the playoffs.
Maybe Jalen Hurts sucks. Jalen Hurts sucks, and they made the playoffs because they had a very weak schedule. But they had a very good offseason. They got another weak schedule this year. But he's terrible. Okay, but what Jalen Hurts does have, and I'll give him credit for it, he has good instincts. So when he knows the pocket's collapsing, he's going to get the hell out of there. If you could combine Jalen Hurts' instincts with Daniel Jones's skill set, you'd have a damn good quarterback. Hurts can't throw. Hurts can't throw deep. Hurts is inaccurate, but he's got.
Go back and look at his rookie tape. When his rookie tape, Daniel Jones scrambled out the pocket a lot and made a lot of great throw on the runs. Joe Judge and Garrett did not want him running out the pocket. This is a fact. They wanted him to sit in the pocket, and if it wasn't there, throw the ball away. They didn't want him to run around and make plays. They wanted to run a conservative Dak Prescottian offense. That's what they wanted to do. That's why we ran 4 curls every other freaking play. There was no motion. There was nothing. I mean, it was the Joe Judge. I mean, God bless Mac Jones. God bless him.
Well, listen, Joe Judge I demolished that guy last year. He got more. Listen, Joe Judge got more of my venom than anybody on the Giants. Way more than Daniel Jones, way more than Pat Shermer, because Joe Judge was a damn clown. And like I said, I don't sit here and deny and be like, oh, Daniel Jones is bringing the team down because the team is good and it's his fault. The team sucks. But at the same time, Daniel Jones, like I said, Fisk, I can't have confidence in a guy that's 12-25. Not yet. Not yet. I want him to prove to me that he can play well on a consistent basis. And hopefully this regime can get it out of him.
And you're going to give them all the credit. That's the sad part. So when Daniel
I'm
Jones
not going to give them all the Fisk, I just told you. Daniel Jones physically has all the tools to succeed in the NFL. I'm not going to be given will they deserve some of the credit? Absolutely, because you just said that Daniel Jones failed because of the coaching staff. So if he succeeds now because of this coaching staff, how are you not going to give the coaching staff credit? You just told me that Deshaun Watson got credit because of Bill O'Brien's offense.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you an honest question. When after Daniel Jones is done throwing his 35 touchdowns and his 4,500 yards, right? After Daniel Jones is done doing these things next season, because we're going to win the division next year. So after Daniel Jones wins the division, has his 30-plus touchdowns for all that good shit.
I hope you're right.
When he wants that max contract, Baddog, what's going to be your take?
He won't get a max contract. What they're going to do is they'll franchise tag
him. For how much again? $35 million, right?
Whatever it is, it's still going to be like Kyler Murray just got $46 million, so it's going to be less than what Kyler Murray gets. It's going to be less than the going rate.
$35 million. It's $35 million. So let me ask you a question, Baddog. So I'm glad you said that because this is what bothers me. So you're going to franchise tag a guy for $35 million when you could have had him on a 5th-year option for $23. It's dumb. It's just not giving him that 5th-year option was just stupid. It was stupid because at that point, you're saying that all this was Danny's fault, which is a lie because we weren't competitive. We were only competitive because of him. So it's like I'm telling you, Joe Shane is going to regret that because I just know for a fact, I may or may not know somebody close to the situation. He took that personal. And this is going to be very Dak Prescottian when it comes to his contract. He's definitely going to want to feel the love in his contract. Like I said, I know for a fact I may or may not have somebody close to the situation, but he really, really took that person. Not getting that 5th year really, really bothered him.
Yeah, but you got to remember something. It's not their guy. So again, he hasn't proven he can win. You can say that the reason the Giants won the games is because of him, but they haven't won in a frequency where they can sit there and go, he's definitely the guy, 100%. We know going forward, we want to sign the guy. We're definitely keeping him. They don't know that. They don't know what he's going to be in their system. So they're saying, you know what? We can either wash our hands of this guy or we'll pay him an extra $12 million because the Giants have a lot more cap space next year. So instead of committing to him for another year, not knowing what he is, and like I said, in year 4, we're still having this discussion in his 4th year because
y'all still having this discussion.
You and I are having this discussion right now.
No. I'm talking about as far as I'm sold on Daniel Jones. You're not sold on him. I'm sold. I don't have these discussions. I would have extended his ass. So I don't have these problems. Y'all are the ones who aren't sold. He needs to prove something to y'all. Danny has absolutely nothing to prove to me. I'm a Giants fan who sat through a horrible decade of Eli Manning. I'm grateful to have Daniel Jones as my quarterback at this point. I'm conditioned to average quarterback play. So maybe that's why Daniel Jones' play doesn't bother me. Maybe that's why. Maybe because I was so used to my quarterback always losing to the Eagles. How you go from beating Tom Brady in 2 Super Bowls to can't beat Tony Romo and Kirk Cousins for the division. But that's a debate for another day.
Hey,
you know what bothers me about your comment section right now?
Maybe it's because I grew up and saw 4 Super Bowls because I've been a fan since 1984 because I'm an old bastard.
And not one great quarterback. We got 4 Super Bowls, not one great quarterback.
It don't matter. I saw winning here. The game was different in 1986. Okay. Phil Simms was a very good quarterback, borderline Hall of Fame quarterback. Was he great? No, but back in 86, man, there wasn't a lot of great quarterbacks. You had Marino Montana and then kind of everybody else. It was different. The game was different. The game was different when Eli played. Nowadays, it's all about get the ball out quick. Everything's set up for the offense. You can't play defense. You can't, chuck anymore. You can't hand check at the line. You can't do anything anymore on defense. It's all set up for them to throw the ball. So numbers are way better. You didn't see guys throwing for 67% in 1986. Now it's normal. You got to compare. See, this is the thing I have a problem with. We can't compare Daniel Jones to Eli Manning because Daniel Jones plays for the Giants. You have to compare Daniel Jones to his peers. You have to compare him to the quarterbacks he plays against now. Compare Eli Manning to the quarterbacks he played against in 2005. Compare Phil Simms to the quarterbacks he played against in 1987.
I got ulterior motives, Baddog. I bring up Eli because it bothers me that I got called a fake fan for criticizing him for years. But now when I defend Daniel Jones, I'm delusional. I want y'all to give Daniel Jones the same amount of patience y'all gave Eli Manning.
Fisk.
Because y'all sat through losing
Fisk.
season after losing season under Eli, and because he won 2 Super Bowls, he walks on water.
That's right.
My black ass.
That's true, though. That is New York. They will love you forever you in here. And New Yorkers want to love their players. They want to. You guys are talking about how Philadelphia Baxter players. Philadelphia fans are exactly like us. They booed Santa Claus. They want to love you. They want to. But if you play poorly, they will crucify you.
But here's the difference, though, Baddog. Here's the difference. Giants fans, and I get, and this is what irks me with y'all. I get called delusional because I'm not negative. Anytime I say something positive beyond Daniel Jones, I'm still being, he doesn't know what he's talking about. We stink. This is a rebuilding year. How dare him be optimistic and say we could win a division? And then you go over to Eagle content creators like Lord Brunson and Philly 500. Nothing but positivity. They bigging up the team. Nothing but good vibes. You go over to the Washington content creators. They sold on Carson Wentz. Well, he did throw 27 touchdowns. He ain't that bad. They sold on him. They optimistic. They're happy. They can't wait. You go to the Cowboy fans. Man, this is our division to lose. We'll never lose a division. We got Mekhi Parsons. We got CeeDee Lamb. They're optimistic. And then you go to the Giants, and oh my gosh, we're rebuilding. We stink. Well, we got to get a quarterback next year. It's going to take 5 years for us to be good.
Yeah, I ain't saying that. I never said it's going to take 5 years.
I'm not saying you. I'm generalizing. I'm not saying you specifically with the 5 years. I'm generalizing. My question to all you people in the comment section who say I'm delusional: why the hell are you watching the team if you already declared that it's a rebuilding year and we suck?
Because we're fans.
Why the hell? But that's the point. You're fans. Be happy. Be optimistic. I don't understand how. I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm excited about the team. Why are y'all so comfortable being miserable? You have a loser's mentality. You have the mind frame of a Browns fan. You have the mentality of a Lions fan. And it bothers me because our peers, other fan bases in our division who laugh at us all get to be happy and enjoy prosperity until they no longer have a chance to prosper, except for the Giants fans who are just supposed to be miserable all year long. It's the same thing that happened with Joe Judge. This is what bothers me with New Yorkers. This is what pisses me off with New Yorkers, and I'm glad I don't live in New York. Y'all hated Aaron Judge for months. Oh, we can't give Aaron Judge all this money. We don't want to end up like Alex Rodriguez and pay him when he stinks in 5 years. We don't want to do that. That mofo started smacking home runs. Now you got mad we didn't pay him. Shut up. It's like New Yorkers always got to see it to believe it. There's this thing called faith. Faith is believing in something you cannot see. Have some faith. Maybe if y'all would have had Aaron Judge's back in the offseason, maybe the front office would have felt compelled to pay him and they wouldn't have been so damn hardballish. But y'all didn't want to pay him because he's 31 years old and y'all didn't want to have another Alex Rodriguez situation. And now you're mad at the front office because he's about to set the home run record. Oh, why you didn't pay him? Why you didn't give him what he wants to? And that's the thing that's going to happen with Daniel Jones. It's like, oh my gosh, Daniel Jones is 30 touchdowns in, and it's Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness, why didn't you pay him? You knew Brian Dable fixed Josh Allen. You knew Mike Kafka came from Kansas City. If you hire these people, they must be good. Why didn't you think they were going to fix Daniel Jones? And that's what bothers me.
But those guys came in here, and they're the ones that made the decision not to sign Daniel Jones. They're not them. They're the ones that decided that. As far as Aaron Judge goes, the Yankees offered him a bag. He turned it down. They offered him 8 years for $250 million. He said no, and then they said, we're going to discuss the contract at the end of the year. And he's balling out. He's going to get paid. That's just, let me get some of these real quick.
We pay him.
Mike, they better pay him. Yankee fans will revolt. He's an MVP, no doubt. Supporting Fisk small, or for supporting Fisk supports small business.
Fisk is supporting small business.
There you go. Dominic, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. He says, Baddog is fair and has valid points when it comes to DJ. Listen, man, I told you, I just talk about what I see. I see things differently than everybody else. But I get that he's in. I'm going to respond about the Giants fans being negative. Gig and Spawn, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Derek Carr last year is a good example on how a quarterback can excel despite issues on a team. That's true. He said lost his receiver, lost the coach. O-line was not good. DJ was 4-7, had 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, too many excuses. The Raiders did go through a lot of crap last year.
Derek Carr, sorry, period. Derek Carr is not good. Don't get me started on Derek Carr. I'd rather have Kirk Cousins, Dak, Jameis. I'll take Carson Wentz over Derek Carr. That guy's trash. But go ahead.
No, I'm just saying he did have a lot of stuff there. He did have a lot to overcome. The Raiders in general did last year. It was insane what they went through. Manny, thank you, brother. He says, what up with Jalen Smith? He available? Oh, I don't know. Jalen Smith probably. I
don't know why he's not on our team, to be honest with you. He played good for us down the stretch. I don't know why he's not on our team.
L.I. Yankee, thank you, brother. He says, I agree with Fisk and Bad Dog, but I agree with Bad Dog more because with Jones, him physically can be a top 10 quarterback, but can Daboll get DJ's mentality right? If Daniel Jones ever figures it out in the pocket, he's going to be dangerous. There is no question about this. And I've never denied this. I've never said Daniel Jones stinks because he has a bad arm. Like when I say Jalen Hurts stinks, he stinks. Like he sucks. I don't care. I watched him in Oklahoma. I watched him in Alabama. He's no good. Listen, Lord Brunson's my guy. I love LB. LB is selling merchandise. If I had Jones season hats, Fisk, don't you think I'd be talking about Daniel Jones as God like that? If I was trying to sell you Daniel Jones merchandise, don't you think I'd be pumping him up?
He tried to sell us Carson Wentz too.
But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you this too. I go in Philly 500 streams during the game. The Eagle fans absolutely kill Jalen Hurts in there. They kill. You're talking about two content creators. The fans destroy Jalen Hurts. Oh, they come in here. They're like, yeah, Bad Dog, you're right. Jalen Hurts sucks. I don't know what these guys see him. Jalen Hurts is trash. Jalen Hurts is trash.
Yeah, but
he's got a great team around him, though.
Lord Brunson would never come on your channel and say the Giants are going to win the division. You went on Louis T channel and picked the Eagles. You can't do that, bro.
Why?
You just can't do that.
I'm being honest. Well, I can't be honest. I'm a Giants fan, so I have to say we're going to win the division.
Absolutely. You can't pick the Eagles to win the division. No. I don't care if we had. I was gonna say Dwayne Haskins, but R.I.P. God bless it. I don't care if we had Jamarcus Russell at quarterback. On general principle, you're supposed to have the team back when you sitting next to an Eagle fan, a Cowboy fan, and a Washington, whatever they are, fan. You can't sit there and pick another team.
Why?
You made us look bad, though.
I'm being honest. I am unbiased. I am honest in my assessment of everything I give. I say this all the time. I would rather people hate me for who I am than like me for who I'm not. You will never get a disingenuous rant or a disingenuous take on this channel. There is no fakery here. All the people that DM me about where's your Daniel Jones video? Where's your Daniel Jones video? Do you know how many how many requests I get? Do a rant on this guy. Do a rant on that guy. When are you going to rant on the Yankees? Rant on this. Rant on this. I rant when I feel it. I don't rant just to rant when I'm feeling something.
didn't even.
And I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm an emotional guy, and not just on YouTube, in real life. This is me. Ask anybody that's met me, Fisk. People have met me in the chat. Ask anybody that's met me. I am the same way in person as I am on here. I'm just being honest. Does it make me sick?
Italian coming out right now.
What's that? Yeah.
I can feel your Italian blood right now. I'm gonna hit you with a quote. Baddog. Never go against the family. Okay. If you want to bury the Giants to me or Bobby Skinner or Chris or whatever, that's fine. But you can't go in enemy territory and go against the family. If you want to be honest amongst us, we're family. We're Giants content creators. If you want to say we suck around us, okay, that's fine. But you can't get on Louis T Network around Lord Brunson and what was the other guy? The
Law Nation.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't go against the family in public. You gotta hold the L in public. You gotta grit your teeth and bear it in public.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Amongst us, Baddog, it's fine, but you can't go around other content creators like, yeah, we stink, man. Eagles got this. You can't do that, man. You can't do that.
It's fact. Oh, that was what I was gonna say. You talk about Giants fans being miserable. Washington's won this division. Philadelphia's won this division, and Dallas won this division last year. We have won 22 games in 5 years. So we are the worst team with the Jets. So
that
Giants
Washington division title don't count. Nah, that don't count. That was ours. That was supposed to be ours.
Regardless, they won the division twice. They won the division by default, but they won it. Okay, they won it. The RG3 year they won it by default. That year too, they were not good, and they won it by default. But what the thing is, the Giants have beaten this fan base down so much with poor ownership, poor decisions, poor GMs, poor draft, poor contracts, poor trades. So Giants fans in general are just like, Jesus Christ, we are beaten down. We've won 22 games in 5 years. So they're not going to come out and go, all of a sudden, we're going to turn around. We're going to be a 12-win team. Could that happen? Yes. But is it likely? No. Baby steps. Again, we were talking about how Daniel Jones had to learn under a new system and this, and he's got to adjust. So this is the same thing. He's got to adjust. So why do we expect Daniel Jones to come out and ball out in the Giants to win 13 games or 12 games to win the division when we didn't expect it from him under the new regime with Joe Judge? Well, he's got to learn the system.
Well, I don't know. Last year we was cocky. Any Giants
Fisk, I picked us to win 10 games last year.
Yeah, I'm about to say any Giants fan that says we weren't cocky going into last season is a liar.
Yeah, on that round table last year, I picked the Eagles to finish dead ass last. I picked them to win 4 games last year.
We was all we all bought into the hellfire brimstone Joe Judge speeches. Joe Judge had brainwash going into last season.
I got to tell you this, Fisk. You know what this is? You know what that's called when you go into enemy territory? I'm Italian, right? You know this. You keep your friends close and your enemies closer. You remember this. Your enemies come at you with smiles, Fisk. See, it's all mind games over there. You see, reverse psychology. Come on, Fisk. You know me.
Now wait a minute, Baddog. All right, time out, Baddog. You a Baddog. You known for your rants and being real. You don't get to do that. Okay, I'm sorry. If that was Chris or something like that trying to play nice, okay, fine. But you're bad though. You're supposed to bring the smoke. When you go to the other channel, you're supposed to be like, you know what, Danny? I think you stink. But for the sake of this damn round table, you the greatest thing smoking for the day. For the next couple hours, I'm bigging you up. That's how it's just supposed to be.
I will tell you this. You can ask LB, you can ask Brunson. I freaking destroy Jalen Hurts. You can ask him that. I don't ever give Jalen Hurts any damn credit. I say he's the best running back on your team is your quarterback.
He is.
I know.
And that's what kills me too, right? And I'm done bashing Giants fans after this, but this is what bothers me. Giants fans out here trying to get Will Levis and his mayonnaise coffee. Okay, and then Eagle fans is out here really trying to justify $40 million of Jalen Hurts. I just want Giants fans. You know what I want Giants fans to be like, Baddog? I want Giants fans to be like Knicks fans. When the Knicks were halfway decent, it was bing bong. It was the garden is lit. We're gonna boo Trae Young and throw things. I want that energy for the Giants.
We had it, Fisk.
I want that.
In 2020, we won 6 games and we were excited as hell.
It felt good.
It did feel good.
That
It did
season
feel
felt
good. To know when
good.
it came down to the last game, I didn't give a shit that we were 6-10. No one that came down to the last game won the division. It did. It felt good to be competitive. And I want to feel that again. And Giants fans want to feel that again. But this is the thing, Fisk. I don't give a shit if it's Daniel Jones. I don't care if it's Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't care if it's Will Levis. I don't care if it's Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. I don't give a damn who it is. I don't care who's under center here. I just want to win. This has nothing to do with Daniel Jones personally. This has to do with me being a New York Giants fan. I root for the laundry. I root for the laundry. I want to win. I don't give a damn who the hell our quarterback is. I don't care how poor or how well he put. Just win. Just win. Did Eli have his ups and downs? Yes. But what Eli had, and you can't deny, well, maybe you can. Fans are going to tell you, no matter how bad Eli would play in a game, no matter how bad he looked, if we had 2 minutes to go in that game and we had a chance to win, more often than not, you were sitting there going, we're going to win this game. He's going to do it. He's going to bring us down and he's going to win. I want to get that from Daniel Jones.
Okay,
I want to have that confidence and Daniel Jones go, we got this. Just give me that. And when he did it against the Saints, I thought he turned the damn corner. I thought it happened.
Forget what I was going to say. Forget my Eli Manning thing. Forget that for a second. Let me ask you a question. Let's change the narrative on Danny real quick. Let me just ask you a question. Because his rookie season, he had the 2 miracle comeback wins. We all know that. The OT versus Washington, he had the 18-point comeback versus
Tampa.
Jameis. Yeah, yep. Tampa. Yeah, right. Now, let me ask you a question. Hypothetically speaking, if Evan Ingram catches that ball, if the 2-point conversion flag doesn't get picked up, and if that bum Darius Slayton catches the ball, how clutch is Daniel Jones? How much different? Oh, by the way, if Adoree Jackson catches an interception, the highlight of the season is Daniel Jones trucking Grady Jarrett for the 2-point conversion.
That was good. I like that.
If you give Daniel Jones those 4 wins that he got robbed of, how clutch is he? He's been clutch. He's done his part to the best of his ability.
Listen, but that's the thing. Is his ability good enough? And that's a Giants fans question. Again, we're in year 4 and we're still questioning this. And the other thing is, Fisk, if Daniel Jones is picked in the 2nd round, I don't think this is a big deal. And again, this isn't Daniel Jones's fault that he got picked 6th overall, but it's the reality of the situation. And when you're the 6th overall pick in the draft, you are expected to carry a team. And I know you're saying, players let him down.
He has.
But
he's carried us.
He's got to stay healthy. That has to happen, man. The guy can't.
That's my only knock on DJ.
The best ability is availability. He got to stay healthy. And I tell you, Fisk, in that Cowboys game, you can go back and you can watch Chris in my stream. He runs and he lowers his head. And I say right in the game, I go, he's got to stop doing that. He's going to get hurt. He's going to get a concussion and bam.
I don't want him to run at all, to be honest with you. I'm just being honest with you.
He's got to learn how to stop. But again, that goes back to instincts. It really does. I'm rooting for Daniel Jones. And again, this whole stream initially started because I get pegged as I'm a Daniel Jones hater.
And I'm a DJ lover. And
right.
I'm like the total other.
So what we are, Fisk, is we're like Daniel Jones's physical skill set and Jalen Hurts' instincts. We got to come together and find a middle ground where you're not like every time Daniel Jones fails, it's somebody else's fault. And I got to get where, you know what, that wasn't Daniel Jones' fault. He's doing everything that he can, but the guys around him are letting him down. So
what is his outlook? What's his outlook? Next season, what you got his stat line looking like next season?
I want him to stay healthy. I think Daniel Jones can have a very good season. Is it going to be good enough to give him a 50? He's really going to have to ball out. Really ball out.
Hey, I'll tell you what,
I will, you know what? I will go on record with this. He will have the best season he's had since his rookie season. If he can't, I don't know what to say. He's going to be better than he was the last 2 years. I do have confidence in that. I do feel that. Listen, I wouldn't say I'm not optimistic. I'm not pessimistic. I'm anxious. I want to know what this is. I don't know what this is. Like and I heard you guys talking about Wan'Dale Robinson last night. And when he was drafted, I didn't shit on the pick. I wasn't mad. I didn't understand it. I was like, there's a lot of other ways we could have went. But at the same time, I know Chris and I were both saying, you got to kind of trust Joe Shane's vision. We don't know what Joe Shane has in vision. He's taking his players, so he has a vision. We can't, and that's why I wouldn't give the draft a grade. I'm like, I have to see what he does with these guys because we don't know. Like if Dave Gettleman would have drafted Wandale, going to draft it. We don't know what Joe Shane's done. I have to see what these guys do in the field before I say that was a good pick or that was a bad pick. And in practice right now, Wandale looks like a damn good pick. So, and
Daniel Jones been balling for 3 days now, by the way.
Last 2 days, this week he's been good. I told you, I made the videos that said he's been good. The Jonestown video.
Where's your DJ video at? You did some Yankee videos. Where your DJ videos for the past 3 days of excellence?
Well, they didn't practice today. The Jonestown video.
No, they didn't practice yesterday.
The Jonestown video, after I get done talking about the Colt, I talk about how great Daniel Jones was in practice. I said he was 11 out of 14 and third down long drills. And I said he played great. He was awesome today. And then I didn't do a video yesterday. I did a live stream last night. So I talked about how good Daniel Jones was in practice. And I said, maybe he's turning the corner. Maybe he's figuring it out. So, and there's the video on there. Day one, Kadarius Toney and Daniel Jones shine. They're there.
Giants fans, I hate to rip y'all, but I got to rip y'all. Draft night, y'all went from slurping Joe Shane to wanting to fire him over the Wandale pick. And y'all were actually entertaining Toney trades. But here's what bothers me with Giants fans, right? If Kansas City calls about Toney, that he's good enough for the Giants. If the Patriots call about Toney, he's good enough for the Giants. If Green Bay calls about Toney, he's good enough for the Giants. If he's good enough for other organizations who are better than us, that should tell you something. Which brings me to Jimmy G Giants fans and Pat Leonard, that guy. If an organization like the 49ers, who win on a regular basis, trade 3 first-round picks to get rid of Jimmy G, why the hell should we take him? He's not good enough to play on a good team, but y'all think he's going to be good enough to stay the Giants? Y'all hate DJ that bad?
Did you see my video on Jimmy Garoppolo?
No, I get what you were saying because you came at it from a realistic point of view.
No, I said that he's garbage and I don't want him here. It doesn't make sense to bring him in here.
He's horrible.
Yeah, horrible. And I tore Pat Leonard up too, saying Daniel Jones is a start unless he gets hurt or the Giants are completely out of it at the end of the year. Daniel Jones is the quarterback. He's the quarterback. The Jimmy G, that's just reporters looking for something for people to read an article. That was never, ever feasible. He's 31 in November. He makes $27 million. Where the hell are we getting the money to pay Jimmy Garoppolo? And I even say in the video, I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is much better than Daniel Jones if he's better than him at all.
Basically.
So,
and my thing is, I don't understand why people entertain Jimmy G when y'all been crying broke for 6 months. We had to get rid of freaking Joe Shane over here with a beggar's cup over here, getting rid of Bradbury and Logan Ryan. But yet y'all want to go get $27 million for Jimmy G.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't get it. I didn't get it at all. Let me get a couple of these real quick. Cushmaster, what's up, buddy? Thank you. He says, remember, supporting Baddog is like supporting small business. This is true. That's true. Don't forget about that. Supporting any YouTube content creator is supporting small business.
You kind of big business out here.
I am big business. 100,000. I ain't got 100,000 yet, and
close enough.
That's nothing on YouTube. That is nothing.
Shit.
It is nothing on YouTube. That's nothing. That is nothing. Art Vandalay, thank you, brother. He says, why is this guy saying not to go against the family after trashing Giants fans and New Yorkers for being rightfully upset with the team?
No. You never go against the family in public. We could diss each other. Giants content creators and Giants fans, we could argue amongst ourselves. I'll talk about Baddog going on Louis T Network and picking guy. You could have picked the Cowboys. You really picked the Eagles. That's amazing.
I said the last game of the season. I said the last game of the season was going to decide it because I felt like Washington. I couldn't believe
that came out your mouth, Baddog. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I couldn't believe that came out.
I'm like I said, man. Whether I like it or not, I'm honest. That's it. I'm honest. That's my honest take. I've been picking him since last year. I said the Cowboys, the Eagles got way better. Listen, I hate the Eagles. I hate them. I can't stand that team more than any team in the NFL. I hate them a little bit more than the Cowboys. I can't stand either one of them. But Howie Roseman's done good things there. There's no denying that. I can't
Bro,
deny
I got
that.
a whole Giants channel. I'm so sick and tired of people saying I openly root for the Saints. I have a whole Giants channel and a general sports channel. That's like the dumbest thing in the world. Okay, so when I'm out here calling Joe Burrow, Joey B, and Joe Breezy, I'm a Bengal fan now.
Yeah.
I'm a Bengal fan, right? Like, come on, man. Like, stop. I got a whole Giants channel. Like, stop it.
By the way, speaking of supporting small business, if you haven't subscribed to my guy Fisk Vegas, the link is in the description below. Make sure you guys subscribe to him. Check him out. Listen, I've said before, 6K. Fisk and I are cool as shit. We've always been cool. We just disagree on Daniel Jones, but this is why I like. You can see both of us are very passionate. We love our Giants. We just come at different, but very respectful to one another. We get heated. It's the heat of the battle, but this is what this is. This is because this team has won 22 games in the last 5 years. If we were winning 10, 11, 12 games a year, Fisk, we wouldn't be having this discussion.
Oh, let me ask you a question, Baddog. Let me ask you a question. Kyle Pizzle, shout out to Kyle Pizzle, my co-host on the Giants Outsiders. He brought up a good point. Do we need to sacrifice Sterling Shepard to get rid of the curse? Because I'm sitting back like he is the last of the boat trip. Everybody's going but him. Do we need to sacrifice Sterling Shepard before we can be good again?
He's gonna be going. You want to talk about a guy that has been extremely disappointing to me, especially being a Sooners fan, is Sterling Shepard. When Shepard got here, I'm like, oh my God, what a great pick. This is amazing, man. He's going to be awesome. Like, I was so pissed off at Jerry Reese for taking Eli Apple. People think I was mad at the Daniel Jones pick. I was more mad at the Eli Apple pick. I said, there's an Eli Apple rant on my channel. That's the day after we picked him. I wanted Conklin and I wanted Leonard Floyd. And when we got traded up and he took Eli, I lost my mind. The Daniel Jones reaction was nothing compared to when we drafted Eli Apple, but then he drafted Sterling Shepard, and I got so happy. I'm like, oh my God, what a pick. This kid with Odell Beckham, he's going to be so awesome. Drops, hurt all the time. None of this happened at Oklahoma. Extremely disappointing. So, yes, to answer Compizzle's question, yes, we need to sacrifice Sterling Shepard. I'm surprised he's still on this team. But Comp's right. This is the last of the Mohicans. It's the last of the boat trip.
The last one.
Get him out of there. Get it rid of him.
Prosper. I really think that boat trip got us cursed. I do. He's the last.
We have not been above 500 at any time since that boat trip. We haven't been 1-0. We ain't been 3-2. We ain't been 2-1. We've been 2-2. We've been 500, but we have not been above 500 since that boat trip. And this is why.
And mini rant right quick, right? Because you bring up Eli Apple, right? So y'all know 5 wide receivers from the 2019 draft class got paid. That bum Dave Gettleman traded back into the first round to get DeAndre Baker.
Yes, he did.
And we could have had a Deontay Johnson. We could have had Metcalf. And I'm just sitting back like, damn. Like, oh my gosh, bro. Yeah. We could have Montez Sweat instead of Dexter Lawrence. Well, Dexter Lawrence has been playing well in camp, but still, we could have Montez Sweat. I don't know. The Giants just.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, Fisk. Dave Gettleman was a big time liar. I mean, he said he was fixing the offensive line. He had 6 first-round draft picks. He took 1 offensive lineman. And you know what? Yeah. That guy's pretty good. His name's Andrew Thomas. He's a pretty good tackle. He never addressed the offensive line. He took Shane Lemieux in the 5th round. He took Matt Parrott. Matt Parrott even on the team anymore. I will say this. He signed Nate Solder. It was the best available left tackle. Solder came here. He was a train wreck. I'm not really putting that on Gettleman.
All those Patriot players are trash when they leave New England.
They are. I mean, Ben McAdoo called him out in that. And one thing I'll say, Ben McAdoo, not a good head coach. Sometimes guys are just not good leaders of men. But McAdoo is a smart football guy, and he's a good offensive coordinator. And I think he can make Baker Mayfield a little bit better. Baker's not as good as I thought he'd be either. I thought Baker would be a lot better than he is. He is not. But he was right about a lot of things. And Gettleman's like, we don't sign Beckham. I knew Beckham was getting traded. When they traded Olivier Vernon, I mean, in that video, I say, don't be surprised if Odell Beckham's next.
Oh, Baddog, how did you feel about because we ain't spoken a while. I got to ask you, and I want you to tell me the truth, Baddog, because I have no idea what you're going to say when I ask you this. Did it break your heart watching Odell catch that touchdown in the Super Bowl? Because it broke mine. It broke mine. I need your honest take. Because we were told by Gettleman and Shermer that you can't win with him. He's not a winning player. He's bad for the locker room. Did it break your heart to see him catch that touchdown in the Super Bowl?
I know. I was happy for him. I was happy for Beckham. I was sad that he got hurt. I was heartbroken that he got hurt. That brought tears back. This is the thing. I root for the laundry, but when these guys leave, I'm never going to root against him. It's not like Beckham was at Brown. I'm like, oh, the hell with Odell Beckham. I wish Beckham nothing but the best. Unless they go to like the Eagles or the Cowboys. I'm obviously going to hate them.
Traitor.
Right. James Bradbury, I'm not going to root. I hope that guy sucks. I hope Kenny Galladay and Kadarius Toney, leave him hanging. I hope that he has to pick his jock up off the field after they get done, running right by him and making him look like a damn fool. That's what I'm hoping. But it's not like I
wasn't happy for Odell. I'm sorry. I wasn't happy. I was pissed. Yeah. I was so pissed.
It wasn't Odell Beckham's fault that he got traded. So
it wasn't, but Baddog, that's back-to-back Super Bowls. I had to watch great Giants players get busy. I was pissed off when I watched JPP get a sack versus Mahomes, and I was pissed off when Odell Beckham caught that touchdown versus the Bengals. Those are two Giants players who are still in their primes that should still be wearing blue. It pissed me off. I'm sitting back like JPP should still be a Giant. Odell should still be a Giant. Like, what the hell?
I can say this with Beckham, and this is why I should have known that they were taking a quarterback, because I swear to God, they were like, I don't want Odell Beckham influencing the young quarterback. I should have known after 2018. I should have known they were taking a quarterback when they traded him. I should have known at that point that was going to happen. I didn't see it. I definitely did not see it. I didn't even know who the hell Daniel Jones was. I never heard of Daniel Jones.
I only know because I live in North Carolina. So I knew because he's on my television every Saturday at Duke. So I only knew him because of that.
I was like, I don't watch Duke football.
Fellow Carolina boy, by the way.
I watch SEC football and obviously Big 12 football because I'm a Sooner fan. Pretty soon the Sooners are going to be in the SEC, and that's all I'm going to watch. But I do watch a lot of college football. I'll still watch the Big 12. I'll still watch the Big 10. I love college football. I love Saturdays in the fall. If I'm not doing anything, man, I will sit in front of my television from 12 p.m. till 12 a.m. betting and watching college football. I love it. I love college football. I love the product.
Hold on, time out. Your boy, diehard Giants fan. He's a mod of your chat.
Yes.
We just paid Odell Beckham $90 million. What do you mean we weren't in position to keep him? We paid him. We had to eat his cap hit for 2 years, even though he wasn't on the team.
Yeah, I think why they did that. The reason I think they signed him, and I've said this before, was because if he was going to be a free agent, the Giants would have had no leverage. So they gave him that contract, knowing when they traded him, that team was going to have control of him for the next 4 years. I'm almost positive that's why they did it. But we ran out of cap space, and I do think that was part. But Gettleman screwed everything up. I mean, Gettleman screwed the cap up.
Everything.
How the hell are you going to take over for a team that was 3-13 in a horrible cap situation, and then when you leave 4 years later, it's worse? How is it worse than that?
Yeah.
Horrible. He was terrible. Horrible. He was horrible.
And then what kills me with the Gettleman thing, right? And nobody talks about it. Well, actually, some people talk about it, but what bothered me the most about Gettleman is he hid. At least Joe Shane, you see Joe Shane with Brian Dable like at every press conference.
Yeah.
That guy Gettleman hid in his office from all the smoke. He just sat in his office at his high tower and said, "This is a team. I'm smarter than you."
Yep.
It is what it is. And I'm just like Jesus Christ, oh my God.
I think the fact that we have a young, innovative mind at the GM position, I think that's going to help. And I also love, I tell you, Fisk, and I don't know your opinion on this, but I loved the addition of Brandon Brown. I thought that because he had a lot to do with the Eagles rebuilding that team so fast and getting a really good offensive line in there. And I really think that was underrated. And I also think John Mara, you can see him stepping back and giving Joe Shane the autonomy when they demote Chris Mara and he fires two scouts.
Definitely.
This is why, again, I'm not going to be It's hard to be optimistic. We won 22 games in 5 years, and I got my hopes up last year, and they smashed me. So for me, I guess it's more I'm kind of walking on eggshells. I don't want to get my hopes up, but it's the beginning of the year, and I always feel like we can compete every week. No matter how bad we are, I always feel like we're going to win when we get to the game. That's just the way I am, reality or not. I'm like, we can do this. And then a lot of times I get a bash in my face. We lose 34-7.
Fans, not Eagle fans. The front office. What's his name? Howie Roseman's still mad. We got Brandon Brown. They still salty.
I loved that. I loved that addition. I think that the Giants are building something. It feels different this year, but talent-wise, it was hard to improve upon the team. We had no cap space.
You know we're due, right?
I know we're due.
We're due.
Shit, I hope, man, I just want to be healthy, Fisk. I just want our key players to stay healthy for 17 games, and then you let the chips fall where they may. You know what I mean? I just want a fair shake. If Jones can play 17 games, and Barkley can play 17 games, and Galladay and Tony can play 17 games, and Azeez Ojulari and Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas.
Names, bad though. Look at those names.
If they can play 17 games, Fisk, and we're 5-12, then we know it ain't good enough.
We got the best skill position players. All right, let's call a spade here. Let's keep it a buck. We got the best running back in the division, and we got the best collection of wide receivers in the division. Tony's better than Devontae Smith, y'all. Like stop. All right, Devontae Smith is okay. We all know Tony's that guy. Like Tony's gonna be special. Okay. Don't even get me started with Washington and whatever the hell they got behind Terry McLaurin. Like no. Then we got the best pass rush in the division. Like let that sink in, right? We got Ojulari on one side, Kayvon on the other. We got Leonard and Dexter in the middle. Okay. Like the Giants got a lot of talent. I know it's taboo, Giants fans. I know we're not supposed to be optimistic. I get it. But damn it, we got some talent on this team.
I'm excited to see
pretty good.
I'm excited to see what Wink does to the defense. I worry about our secondary a little bit. I tell you what I love is Xavier McKinney. You want to talk about a guy that's just balling out. He's special. McKinney's a special player. And hopefully Blake Martinez can stay healthy. But the defense is going to be, I worry about the offensive side of the ball because I don't know what the hell it's going to be. And again, a lot of it's going to hinge on Daniel Jones. But I can tell you this, if they're successful in offense, Fisk, he's going to get credit. He's going to get credit from me anyway.
Okay, well, so here's the thing, Bad Dog. All right, so Vegas, like I don't know if the odds have changed, but last time I checked, right, the bookmakers, they have Brian Dable. He's second to win Coach of the Year, right? So let's do the math here. All right, I'm a paint a picture for y'all. Y'all view it however you want to. Brian Dable is second to win Coach of the Year. Okay, that's number one. That's clue number one. Clue number two, Kadarius Toney is one of the most popular fantasy picks in all of the world right now. Saquon Barkley, one of the most popular fantasy picks. And I'm not talking about your little 12-team home leagues. This is all about $2-3 million best ball tournaments that people have to invest players in, right? And you know who everybody's favorite quarterback to draft late rounds right now is Daniel Jones. What I'm trying to say is even the haters, when it's time to put their money where their mouth is, Bad Dog, Vegas had to make Brian Dable one of the favorites for win Coach of the Year. All these daily fantasy sharps and everybody who you depend on to get your analysis from, they got to rank these Giants players pretty high. So what I'm trying to say is I might be one of the few people in the Giants community big enough the Giants, but a lot of people are investing a lot of big money in the Giants. And the only way Vegas is going to make Brian Dable second to win Coach of the Year, Bad Dog, is what? He got to win games, right?
Yes, you do.
And the only way he going to win games is if Daniel Jones does what?
They all got to do well, but yes, it'll hinge on.
I think it's going to be a Sean. This has Sean McVay, Jared Goff written all over it. I really think this is going to be a situation where it's like you had Jeff Fisher, a la Joe Judge, some old conservative bum who don't.
Joe Judge is terrible, not the right guy. And again, that was a ghetto.
Bring in Dable, and then you bring in Dable, and it's like, oh my gosh, he can do this. Oh, we didn't know Jared Goff could do that. Oh, we didn't know Daniel Jones could do that. And then you got the head coach that brings the best out of him. I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's really going to be a situation where Dable's going to come in, get the best out of Danny, and I think he's going to get a majority of the credit.
Well, speaking of McVay, let's get a couple of these. Dennis, thank you, brother. I appreciate the super chat. He says, Papa Den here from Dinger City, the #1 Mario baseball channel. Coaching and team matters. Stafford had 5 seasons above 25 touchdowns in his 12 and 13 seasons. Year 1 with a good team of McVay, dude throws 41. Calvin Johnson. That definitely helped. It helped a lot. And they drafted wide receivers every freaking year for years.
But that's what coaching matters, though, because
coaching does matter.
He never won in Detroit.
I am not saying that coaching does not matter. Coaching absolutely matters. That's why last year Joe Judge took the brunt of everything that I gave. Daniel Jones took some of it. Evan Ingram took some of it. But Joe Judge, I always say to Giants fans jokingly, I'm like, you can thank me for Joe Judge getting fired. Because I said I pushed that guy over the edge when he had that 11-minute rant. I said when he used the term clown show, I go, oh, he watches. He watches because I said that the Giants are a circus and Joe Judge is the head clown. This is a clown show organization. And he had that rant. He's like, this ain't some clown show organization. Yeah. So Giants fans, you're welcome. And now we got Brian Dable. So it's good to go. LA Yankee King, thank you, brother. He says if San Francisco is given 3 first-round picks to take Jimmy G, San Francisco can have Jones and one of Galladay, Williams, or Jackson to give us 2023, 2025, and 2027 first. Thoughts?
No. Absolutely not. Because y'all can say what you want about Daniel Jones. Some of these quarterbacks are trash. Justin Fields ain't look good. Trevor Lawrence ain't look too good. At least Daniel Jones is competent. That boy Trevor Lawrence, Jesus. Oh my gosh. No, absolutely not. No.
The one thing I'll say about Jimmy Garoppolo, and again, the only thing that makes sense when you talk about Garoppolo coming in, the only way Garoppolo will be a Giant would be next year. If Daniel Jones doesn't play well and the Giants don't play well, they're obviously not going to bring him back here. Garoppolo is a free agent at the end of the year. And if the Giants, say the Giants are 6-11, Daniel Jones won't have a good year, but we're picking like 13th and they can't get the quarterback that they want. Like they can't trade up. They can't get him or they're all gone. At that point, maybe they're like, we'll bring in Jimmy Garoppolo as a stopgap and we'll figure out the quarterback situation down the road. That's the only way he becomes a Giant. But God, 3 first-rounders to take Jimmy G, knowing that he's a free agent at the end of the year. See, that's tough because we don't know that Daniel Jones is going to be back here. And Jimmy G could also be going, but you would have 3 first-round picks.
I have a rule. All right.
That's tough. That's a tough predicament. You'd have to think about that for the simple fact that you don't know that Jones is coming back here and Garoppolo would be a free agent at the end of the year. So you're not committed to him either. And you'd end up with 3 first-round picks and you'd end up being able to pick a quarterback next year because you'd have 2 first-round picks. You'd have San Fran and you'd have our own. Then they could get the quarterback and they'd have 2 future firsts. So that's something you have to think about. That is a lot of draft capital.
Here's the thing, right? If Daniel Jones, all right, let me ask you a question. Let me see. If Daniel Jones is good, would you trade him for 3 first-round picks?
Well, he'd have to be great.
No, not even great. If he's good, like if Daniel Jones is, if he's Dak. If he's good, Dak is just good.
Yes.
If he's Dak Prescott or Kirk Cousins, would you trade him for 3 first round?
Would I take 3 first-round picks for him? I would have to.
If he's Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott,
I'd have to. For Kirk Cousins,
really?
3. We're getting 3 first-round picks in return.
But you got to hit on those, Baddog. You got to hit on those.
But I have faith that these guys are going to hit on them. This isn't Gettleman. This isn't Gettleman picking them. If it was Gettleman picking these guys, I'd say no. Because he messed up a cup of coffee. But with Shane and Dable having all that draft cap, it just gives you so much flexibility down the road to get players that you want. To have 2 first-round picks in 3 separate years, you can really build something special. I don't know if any player. I don't know if any player is worth 3. Like, which player is not worth 3-round picks unless it's, a Justin
Any
Herbert
elite
or a Josh
quarterback.
Allen or a Pat Mahomes.
Now hold on. Let me ask you a question about Justin Herbert because I'm so sick of this Justin Herbert crap. If Justin Herbert was so great, he'd been in the playoffs by now. You say what you want about, and I bring this up with Daniel Jones, right? Daniel Jones for the division when he had to play the Cowboys week 17, he won that game. Kyler Murray went out at 4:00 and lost to a backup. I watched not Trevor Lawrence, the other blonde head guy, Herbert. I watched Herbert lose to that bum Derek Carr for a playoff spot. At some point, can we hold these other guys to the same standards as y'all be holding Daniel Jones?
But that wasn't his fault. They called a
wasn't
timeout.
Herbert's
The
fault.
Raiders said, you want to call a timeout? Okay, we're going to try to score. If they would have just let that game be tied, they're going to the playoffs. The coaching staff, that wasn't Herbert's fault that they called a timeout. And the Raiders were like, oh, okay, now we're going to try to win the game. The Raiders are fine running out the clock and tying, and both of them would have made the playoffs. But Los Angeles said, we're calling a timeout. Don't know why they did that. And the Raiders go, okay, well, we have nothing to lose. To hell with it. We're going for it.
I'm tired of putting these dudes on pedestals. Joe Burrow,
Justin Herbert is good. That guy,
Herbert and Kyler Murray got to win something. I'm sorry. Joe Burrow just went to a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson's been an MVP. He's won a playoff game. But when it comes to these dudes like Derek Carr, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, can they win something, please?
Well, Herbert's been in the league 2 years. So he's good. He's good. I mean, San Diego wasn't a good team, or I do that all the time. Los Angeles wasn't a good team, but they wouldn't have been able to pick him so early in the draft. He's better than Tua.
He should have been a Giant.
He should have been a Giant.
Wanted to go back to school.
I tell you, the first episode of Talking Giants, Chris and I ever did, we talk about Justin Herbert replacing Eli Manning. We talk about bringing in Teddy Bridgewater as a stopgap and drafting Justin Herbert. And unfortunately, Herbert went back to Oregon and we missed out on him. But yes, he should have been a Giant. I agree. Which sucks that we didn't end up with him. But it is.
I like where we're at now, man. The fact that we got Tony and Evan Neal and Danny, Saquon, we got Wandale, Gala. We got a lot of heavy hitters, man. We got a lot of talent on this offense. It's all, and Brian Dable, Mike Caff, good play calling, man. Nobody can guard Tony. Nobody's guarding Tony.
I agree.
This offense is going to be freaking amazing, man.
I hope it is.
We're going to have a lot of good Sundays, man.
I hope you're right. Fisk, from your lips to God's ear. Like I said, man, this whole thing started with everybody, well, not everybody, but people saying I'm a DJ hater. I'm rooting for him to fail. I never tell anybody how to fan. I've always said this. I'm not the fan police. I don't tell you how to root for your team. And this is the other thing. I don't give a damn if you have a mansion that is from floor to ceiling, all Giants memorabilia, or if you own one crusty ass gas station Giants hat. Your fandom is in your heart. You carry it in your heart. So as a Giants fan, I'm not rooting for Jones to fail, but the people that come out and go, Daniel Jones is going to suck. And they say this from day one, and they just want to be right. So they root for him to fail to go, I told you that he was going to be bad. Those people are not fans. Criticizing your team because you're pissed off at losing, to me, that says you care. But when you're sitting there rooting for them to lose, so you can go, I told you that was the wrong move, they're not fans. They're not fans. Again, I don't tell people how to fan, but that's not a fan.
Chat right now, just being disrespectful to DJ. Oh, if only we had a quarterback. Like, oh my gosh. And another thing real quick. So check this out, right? It's one of your subscribers been asking me about how I think the NFC East is going to play out. The NFC East will go as followed. Giants will be number 1. Cowboys will be number 2. Philly will finish 3rd. Washington will finish 4th. That's how I have the NFC East playing out. Hurts, the best throw Hurts made in that playoff game was Tom Brady hitting Tom Brady on the sideline. He's not good.
He's not good.
And guess what?
He sucks.
AJ Brown, and AJ Brown's not that great either. He's not. If he was that great, Tennessee would have kept him. It's the same thing I said about Hollywood Brown. I have a lot of Ravens supporters on my other channel. He drops a lot of wide open balls. These franchises are not letting go of elite wide receivers if they think they're good. There's a reason DK Metcalf got a bag. There's a reason Deontay Johnson just got a bag. If these teams are willing to trade these elite receivers, you should sit back and say, what's wrong with them? That's the first thing you should. Am I crazy, bad dog? Am I crazy?
We're all a little crazy. We root for this damn team. We got to be crazy.
Yeah, but and then on top of that, right? Devontae Smith. Name one game Devontae Smith had that was better than Tony versus Dallas or Jamar Chase versus Baltimore. Like I didn't see.
He's not Jamar Chase. He's not Jamar Chase. He ain't that.
And I don't think he's Tony either. Tony, the way Tony cut up Deion Sanders in that Cowboys game, oh my gosh, bro. I mean, he slaughtered Deion Sanders with that double move in the Dallas game. So it's like, they got bad dog. You know what? Real quick, bad dog. Forget the Eagles for a second. Forget them because they don't have no quarterback. They
don't have a quarterback.
Let me talk about these Cowboys for a second. What pisses me off about the Cowboys? They want to be us so bad, bro. They keep comparing LT to Micah Parsons, and I want to break my TV screen every time I hear it. And then they have some random undrafted wide receiver, bad dog, make a catch earlier this week, and now they're calling him the next Odell Beckham Jr. Hey, Cowboy fans, can you please compare your players to other players on your own team? Don't mention the great LT name with Micah Parsons. Don't you got Charles Haley and DeMarcus Ware? Yeah, some guy makes a great catch in practice. Compare him to Des Bryant. Don't mention Odell Beckham name. Stop trying to be the Giants.
Yeah,
I'm making fun of him when I say Deion Sanders.
There's no way in hell that Micah Parsons should ever be compared to Lawrence Taylor. There is no Lawrence Taylor. There will never be another Lawrence Taylor. Never. As a matter of fact, I went off. I remember going off of Mark Holmes about that. I'm like, just shut up. I'm like, if you're comparing those two, you don't know anything about football, man. You want to compare rookie seasons, whatever. Right? They didn't count sacks as an official stat in 1981, but Lawrence Taylor had 9.5 sacks. Lawrence Taylor won Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year in 81. Then he won Defensive Player of the Year in 82. Then he finished second Defensive Player of the Year in 83. Then he won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in 86. Okay, he's the last defensive player to win an MVP. He's the only player to ever win Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year in the same year. And teams completely changed their offense because of Lawrence Taylor. Nobody does that anymore. Nobody goes, where's number 11? Micah Parsons is a beast. Don't get me wrong. I would have been happy if the Giants drafted Micah Parsons. Teams ain't going, where the hell's 11? Where the hell's 11? Where's 11? Nobody cares. But when 56 is on the field, you were like, where the hell's 56? Where the hell's 56? Where's 56? Yeah, not even close. Not even close.
You and I did a pre-draft show that year, Bad Dog. He's a middle linebacker. We didn't know he could put his hand in the dirt and go get the quarterback. No, the Cowboys lucked up with that, Bad Dog. If NFL teams knew that Micah Parsons could rush the passer like that, shower jokes be damned, he would have went number 1. He'd have went ahead of Trevor Lawrence. Well, no, he wouldn't have went ahead of Trevor. He'd have went number 2. There's no way in hell NFL teams letting that guy fall to 11 if they knew he could rush the passer like that. It just wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, I'm not taking anything away from Parsons. Parsons is a beast. Parsons is a damn good player. He's the real deal. I love Micah. I hate that he wears that Dallas Cowboy jersey, but I think he's a damn good player. He's exciting to watch. He's not Lawrence Taylor. He shouldn't be mentioned in the same breath as Lawrence Taylor. People want to say Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald ain't Lawrence Taylor either. They were trying to say J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt ain't no Lawrence Taylor. There is no Lawrence Taylor.
Deal, right? Real quick, chat.
You want to talk about being passionate, defending a guy? Yeah. I may be in the Lawrence Taylor cult. I'll be the head of that cult, Fisk. Nobody desecrates Lawrence Taylor's. Oh, he did this. He did crack. I don't give a damn what he did off that field. What I know is what he did on that field every Sunday for 3 hours. I know what he did. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. You'll never be another player like that. There will never be a defensive player that dominant again.
And I was referring to everybody. Look, Cowboy fans keep comparing Trevin Diggs to Deion Sanders. I was joking. I was joking with the Deion Sanders. I guess your chat didn't know that Cowboy fans keep comparing Trevin
Yeah,
Diggs to
they
Deion.
might not know that.
Yeah, they didn't get that joke.
I
But
knew what you meant. I know what
yeah,
you meant.
yeah, I guess they didn't get that joke. But here's the deal, though, right? Aaron Donald is the greatest interior lineman of all time. I don't know how you could compare Aaron Donald to LT when LT was like dominant on that. He just dominated the outside. I don't understand how you compare a defensive tackle to a linebacker. I feel like they hate us bad though. They always try and discredit the Giants.
They do.
They, they,
That's
they,
a
they,
fact.
they just even LT. You would think LT is above reproach, but no. Micah Parsons he's LT, and it's just like shut up.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I say it all the time. And they're like, oh, the helmet catch and wide right. The Giants got lucky. And I'm like, you can try to discredit them Super Bowls all you want. We won the Super Bowls. We won don't matter how we won them. We won them Super Bowls.
But that's my problem with Eli. I need a playoff Eli for 16 weeks. Playoff Eli is like, other than like Joe Montana and Brady, there's not a quarterback I want above playoff Eli. I needed that for 16 weeks though. That was my problem.
But that's why Eli Manning is the status he is, because if Daniel Jones could get to the postseason and even if he didn't win a Super Bowl, but he say this year, Daniel Jones has a year, and an average year, I think is 30 touchdowns, because that's not even 2 touchdowns a game. Say Daniel Jones comes out, those are 3,700 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. So it's not a super great year, but it's a very good year. Right? It's a very good year. But then he gets into the playoffs, and they say they match up with someone in the wild card, and he balls out. He rushes for 2 touchdowns and 47 yards. He throws for another 2 touchdowns. We win the game, and then we lose the next game. But Daniel Jones throws for 340 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the defense can't hold it. We end up losing the game like 34-31. Then people would look at him different. I guarantee you, it just takes one Fisk, because I've told this story before. In 2007, I went to the Vikings-Giants game. The Giants lost 42-17. Manning threw 4 interceptions, and 3 of them were returned for touchdowns. And I saw a guy in the parking lot burn Eli Manning's jersey.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember that. I was in high school. I'm old enough for that one.
Yeah, at the end of the year, Eli Manning won a Super Bowl, and everything changed. It didn't matter that he led the league.
Wanted Coughlin going too.
What's that?
It said they wanted Coughlin. They wanted Coughlin and Eli going.
Yes, they did. And I know. I used to go to those training camps all the time. Coughlin was on the hot seat. They'd lost. The worst game I ever saw Eli Manning play was the playoff game against Carolina in 2005. He was terrible. He was horrible.
I remember that game.
He was horrible. I can remember this like vividly, because my television, I just gotten like the pause feature for cable, and I remember my buddy Frank came over, big Giants fan, and we were going to get some Taco Bell. That was like this just what we ate back in the day. You didn't have a lot of money, so you went there and you got like the whatever the hell it was, eat that crappy food, and right. I remember pausing the game like just as the kickoff was going. I was like, let's go get something to eat. We're going to sit back and watch the Giants. We're going to win this game. And Eli was horrible. He threw for like 100 yards, 3 interceptions. It was such a disappointing game. Then they come out the next year, they're 8-8. They lose to Philadelphia on a David Akers field goal. And then, 2007 was kind of up for grabs. We started out terrible, lost our first 2 games. And then they got hot. It kind of reminded me of 86. 86 was a better team, but they won a lot of close games in 86. But at the end of the year, that offense found their groove and they got hot and they rolled. And now that the Giants rolled it through the playoffs in 07, I felt like they did in 2011. They rolled through everybody. They got hot. They just rolled. They got healthy in 2011, and they rolled through Atlanta. Eli Manning kicked the shit out of Aaron Rodgers in that game. Then they went into
I'll tell you, Mr. Jekyll and Hyde. Good Eli.
I'll say it. And
that was different.
I'll tell you. No, this again. If Daniel Jones ever has a game like Eli had in San Francisco in 2011, he'll be a hero. Eli Manning dropped back 58 times against one of the toughest defenses in the league, and he got dropped. He got sacked 6 times. I don't know how many damn times he got picking turf out of his helmet, threw for over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns and got the Giants to the Super Bowl. And then he went on to win another Super Bowl MVP, obviously in a 2-minute drive to win the whole thing. That's why, and again, in New York, whether it's fair or not, you are really judged on your postseason here. If you're not good in the regular season, but you shine in the post, you will be a hero.
So that's why y'all forgave him for being trash after 2011.
I'll tell
Because
you
how
what,
you go from beating Tom Brady in 2 Super Bowls, how you beat the GOAT in 2 Super Bowls, but you can't outplay Tony Romo or Kirk Cousins for a couple division titles? It just blows my mind.
in 2015, they had a horrible defense. I mean, I remember they lost. Yeah, that wasn't Eli Manning's fault that they gave up a touchdown to lose the game with like 32 seconds left opening day. And Landon Collins dropped that interception against the Patriots. And then Gostkowski hit a 54-yard field goal. And we lost that game.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And Eli Manning threw for 6 freaking touchdowns against the Saints. And we lost that game 52-49 because Breeze threw 7 touchdowns. Like, that wasn't Eli's fault. 2015, we had a really bad defense. And that's when Jerry Reese decided to go out there and spend all the money on the defense, because it was bad. And that brings me back to my point. I know you mentioned in the show at Cop Pizzle. By the way, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Fisk Vegas, again, the link to his channel is the first thing in the description. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out Johnny.
Baddog, give me a couple thousand subscribers, bro. You got subscribers.
I'm telling everybody to go over there and subscribe to you. Like I said, Fisk and I may not see eye to eye on a lot of stuff, but he's my guy. It doesn't matter, because this is the thing. I can have this discussion with Fisk, and at the end of the day, we're going to respect each other, and we're going to love it just how it is. And Fisk and I will work together during the regular season. There's no question about it.
Baddog, me and Baddog are old, okay? We're from the era.
Oh, by the way, happy birthday. Today your birthday?
Oh, no, yesterday was my birthday.
Yes,
turned 33.
Well, happy birthday. 33. He says he's old. He's 33. I turned 46 a couple weeks ago. That's old, Fisk.
Okay, well, I'm not prehistoric yet, so we'll say
all right. Yeah.
So we'll say this, right? Baddog and I are from the generation where you can yell, scream, argue, and still be friends, okay?
Hell yeah.
We're not from the social media sensitive, everybody in their feelings generation, okay? We're old school, so it's okay that we can duke it out and still be cool with each other, you know?
Absolutely.
We're not the new generation that is like, oh my gosh, you hurt my feelings, I don't like you no more. You know, we're not from that generation. Nope. We're old school.
We are. Yep.
I tell people all the time, like, I'm from the era where, like, if you didn't have a fist fight with your friend, are you sure he's your friend? If you didn't have a fist fight with your friend and still make up and be friends 2 days later, are y'all really friends?
Yep, it's true. That is definitely true. But that, you know what? That's why when they're like, oh, they were talking about you, and I went back and watched it, and I said, when I watched it back, I go, all right, let's talk it out. I said, because I know Fisk and I, we can get heated. We're going to have our battle. He's going to defend Daniel Jones. I'm going to tell him why I feel the way. But at the end of the day, I'm like, we're cool. And there's no beef.
I mean,
you even said that in your stream. There's no beef with Baddog. I just didn't like the Jonestown thing.
Yeah, because I'm sitting back. I'm like, because my thing with Baddog, I'm like, look, ain't no beef with Baddog, but him out here trying to create a Daniel Jones cult. When I'm like, where is it? Because I want to be a part of it. Because I'm like, I get killed for defending Daniel Jones every day. My most viewed video on all my channels was Peyton Manning with legs on draft night.
Yeah,
I get mocked every day. People just tweet me, Peyton Manning with legs. Oh, Fisk, I thought this Peyton Manning with legs. And I'm just like, what coat, Baddog? Please introduce me to them.
Oh, they're there. They're there. I'll send them your way when they DM me. Where you Daniel Jones video? All right, go see Fisk. Fisk's got my Daniel Jones video.
Because I'm sitting back like, yo, I need some more Daniel Jones supporters, man. Like where are they? Because I'll be defending Daniel Jones, and here come Giants fans. Fisk get delusional. Daniel Jones isn't it. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. And then I go to Lord Brunson channel, and they over here doing videos about why Jalen Hurts deserves $40 million. I'm like, you can't make this up.
No. You want to talk about delusional. I hope they do give him $40 million. I hope they do. I hope they give Hurts a long-term deal. They ain't winning a Super Bowl with that guy. It don't matter what the hell they put him on. He ain't good enough to win a Super Bowl. That's why I got
And then you
venture
got
through it.
Washington fans. Oh my, I'm like Washington fans. Like, how the hell they got big enough Carson Wentz where y'all know he was in our division. Y'all of all people know Carson Wentz is not that guy. And now y'all over here saying, wow, he's better than Taylor Heineke, and that should be good enough to win us the division. I'm like, what? Like, really, Washington? Like, Baddog, they really convinced themselves that Carson Wentz is going to get them over the hump.
Well, he's better than any quarterback they've had, but I don't trust his durability at all. He's an upgrade. He's an upgrade from what they've had there the last few years, but they're not good enough to win this division. They're good enough. I never know what Washington's going to be. Like, there's always an enigma to me. Always.
You know why? Because their head coach is trash. And this is from somebody who lives in North Carolina and watch Ron Rivera every Sunday. Ron Rivera has not had a winning season since 2017. Cam Newton made Ron Rivera. And I know that for a fact because I live in Carolina. I watch the dumb things he does. Ron Rivera has not had a winning season in 6 years. 6 years. They won that division because the Eagles tanked. Ron Rivera's not that great of a head coach. He's not. And then you got my man out there in Indianapolis. Shout out to Irsay. Irsay flat out said, how the hell do you lose to the worst team in the league for a playoff spot? You can't be my quarterback.
Yeah, that was
never
bad.
respected an owner so much before my life, Baddog. That's an owner right there. He says, I don't give a damn.
That was
he
bad.
He says, I don't give a damn you threw 27 touchdowns and 7 picks.
Yeah, you can't lose that game in Jacksonville. That can't.
Yeah, got him up out of there. I respected Jim Irsay so much after that. He says, no, we can't win with that guy. He's got to go. I respected that.
We're 25 likes away from 300, so if you can hit that thumbs up, man, that'd be great. You can subscribe to this channel, too. That'd be great. But like I said, more importantly, if you haven't subscribed to Fisk Vegas, link is the first thing in the description. But let's get 300 likes. We got 387 in here, and I know we're close to 300, so let's get that up to 300 likes. L.A. Lou, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Comparing Lawrence Taylor to Donald is comparable. LT reinvented the edge position. Aaron Donald is doing the same for the defensive tackle position. That's the comparison. I understand that. And I know L.A. Lou's a Rams fan. I love you, L.A. Lou. There is no comparison. I'm sorry.
It's not comparable because that's like, okay. Well, that's.
I was just going to say, Lawrence Taylor was out there covering receivers, chasing running backs down from across the field. Aaron Donald can't do that stuff. Aaron Donald can't cover receivers. He can't cover tight. He can't do that. He can't drop off into coverage and intercept passes. Lawrence Taylor did that. Lawrence Taylor did everything. Exactly. Aaron Donald is the best player, the defensive player of this generation. He ain't Lawrence Taylor. Sorry.
And that's the thing too. Like, I like Aaron Donald. I do. I respect.
I do too. But he
ain't better than Prime Von Miller. I watched Prime Von Miller single-handedly beat Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Now I get Aaron Donald's great, but Baddog, he's still a defensive tackle. I'm not taking Mean Joe Green or Warren Sapp. I'm not taking them over a Lawrence Taylor or Prime Von Miller. Like, I get it. He's a great defensive tackle, but come on now. Let's be real here.
I love Aaron Donald. I think he's awesome, but I don't think anybody's going to. I'm just laughing at that. Andrew Sanchez says, Baddog, I'm going to be honest. I thought you were a frail 40-year-old man, but after looking at your Insta, holy shit, you are jacked. Yes, I do.
Baddog giving me hope. Baddog give me hope.
I do work out.
40s, I can make it happen.
You can definitely make it happen. I'm 46. I'm in the best shape of my life. I actually have a fitness channel. Hey, anybody wants to subscribe to a fitness channel? It's called Baddog Fitness. You can just subscribe.
See, here's my problem with you, Baddog. I gotta call you out on this. All right, I gotta call you out on this. Okay, how old are you again?
46.
You should be ashamed of yourself, okay? This whole body fat stuff you talk about on Instagram, like, oh, I'm like -3% body fat. Live a little.
9%.
You're getting up there. There's gonna be a time where you can't eat these steaks no more. You can't eat these pastas no more, Bad Dog. Enjoy this while you still can.
Yeah, you saw. I mean,
Put on some fat, Bad Dog. It's not going to
I'm taking it off. I just took all the fat off. Fisk, I live. Have
put
you
it
seen,
back on.
have
Live a
you
little
seen? Have you seen some of the meals I've had on Instagram? Did you see the big pasta and meatballs that I had? Did you see the Father's Day meal I had with filet mignon, veal parm, bruschetta, cannoli? Every Saturday night, Fisk, dinner and dessert, everything's off limits. Every Saturday I get to do that. But I
You
love
should give
chicken.
yourself one
I am a
chicken.
chicken and ground turkey fiend. Like I literally, well, I can't wait to get home and eat my ground turkey. I swear to God, I'm addicted to it.
Oh, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you cause is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Okay, so let me ask you another question. All right, now the chat gonna laugh me off the show after I say this. But I went on a rant like a month ago on my channel because I hate the turkey burger people.
Right.
If a hot dog is not a sandwich, then a turkey burger ain't a damn burger. It's a chicken sandwich. I'm so sick and tired of people say a burger is ground beef. It's a patty. It's a hamburger. A burger is a burger. If once you start using turkey meat to make your hamburger, it's no longer a burger. It's a chicken sandwich. There's no difference between a turkey burger and a grilled chicken sandwich on some bread.
Yeah,
There's no difference.
it would be a grilled turkey sandwich.
Yes, it's not a turkey burger.
Right.
I went on like a rant about that. Like, oh,
yeah, it's not a burger. You're right. But ground turkey, the ground turkey, I tell people on Instagram, it's an acquired taste. And I always tell people, ask, what do you eat? How do you eat? I said, you just got to find something that you like to eat that's healthy and something that's sustainable. I love ground chicken ground turkey and chicken. I love making egg white omelets and yogurt. And I love these Kodiak protein pancakes and all this other stuff. I love that stuff. That's what I eat, so I can live on that easily. What's that?
What the hell is a Kodiak pancake? That sounds mad nasty.
Kodiak, it's just a brand. It's just a brand of pancake. It's just they make the batter. They put protein powder in the batter. They're frozen pancakes. Just throw them in the microwave. I bring them to work because they're easy. I throw them in the microwave for 95 seconds, and I eat 3 of them. And it's 14 grams of protein. So I live on protein and carbs. I don't eat fat. It's very little fat, except for Saturday. Like I said, I have ice cream, cannolis, cake, pecan pie. I live it up on Saturday nights. It's my reward.
My Chinese food had broccoli in it this afternoon. That's got to count for something.
See, I tell you what, Chinese food, I might want to have that Saturday night. I want to have something different. I might want some General Tso's chicken. I love me some. I just love chicken in general. I love chicken. I don't care how the hell it's prepared. I mean, obviously, I eat grilled chicken because it's the healthiest. But chicken, I've always been a chicken guy. Always been a chicken.
Okay, so we know Bad Dog ain't gonna be. He not gonna be saving no chickens anytime soon. You know.
Hell no. My brother-in-law, they were joking around because my father-in-law says to my wife, when we went out for our anniversary, he goes, "I know Kevin's eating healthy. Did he eat anything?" She goes, "Oh yeah, he broke his diet or whatever. He had veal parm and bruschetta and all this other stuff." And he goes, "Because I know he doesn't eat a lot." And then my brother-in-law said, "Yeah, but if there is chicken there, he will house the hell out of that. I'll eat like 2 pounds of chicken in the sitting."
Okay, so you're not sick because there's a lot of. All right, so I'm a big animal. I'm obsessed with the lions. I'm obsessed with nature. I love seeing animals hunt and kill and stuff like that. Right?
Yeah.
And like there was this one video of like it was a lion and the lion killed the buffalo, but the buffalo was pregnant, and the lion went and it ripped out the baby, like the unborn baby, and it dragged it into the bushes and started eating it. And I'm like, we eat chicken every damn day. Why y'all crying right now?
Right.
Like, what are we doing? Like,
we eat steak every day. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We no different than that lion.
We are no different, is right.
No different.
Yep, we are no different.
I don't understand these people who hate people who eat animals. I'm like, how do you love animals but get mad at humans for eating other animals? Like when that lion, that bear, that tiger, that leopard, they all hunt and kill.
Yes, they do.
We hunt and kill.
Yes, we do.
Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, yes, we do. Shakur R, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. He says 2012, we were good till Plax shut us. Well, that happened in 2008, but yes. 2008, we should have won a damn Super Bowl. We should have had a dynasty.
Yeah, we should have steamrolled to that
We
Super
would,
Bowl
and
too.
we
It
would
wasn't
have
even
steamrolled everybody if that didn't happen. Because 2008 was the best Giants team. And I was alive for 86, but I will go to my grave saying, well, right now, hopefully in the future, there's a team better. But that 2008 Giants team was the best team I ever saw.
Y'all want to know a player I hate more than Slayton? Dominique Hickson. I hated him. Oh
Yeah,
my
he
god,
dropped the big pass against the Eagles.
I hate him way more than I hate Slayton. And those of y'all who follow my channel know I can't help but make fun of Slayton every chance I get. I hated Hickson way more than I hated Slayton because Hickson had Giants fans fooled. Because remember when Plexico shot himself?
Yes.
And everybody was like, oh, well, Hickson had 200 yards versus the Cardinals. Hickson could replace Plexico. We don't need Plexico. We got Dominique Hickson.
Oh, I remember that.
Okay. I'm like, sure. Good luck with that. I mean, this guy,
that.
Asante Samuel's not even a man press corner. Asante Samuel was over there pressing him like he was like he was Darrell Reeves or something in that playoff game. I'm like, you got to freaking kidding me, bro.
I know, it's crazy. LJ, thanks for following me on Instagram, buddy. I just accepted that. So yeah, I mean, I do have a fitness channel where I show some things I do at the gym. I talk about the gym. I give you positive affirmation. There's a lot of positivity on that channel about how you can get in shape. Anybody can do it, but a lot of people need motivation and need support. It's not easy to do it, but it's a lifestyle. And like I said, I love to talk about that stuff. So a lot of times I tell you what I do, what I eat, how I work out and everything else. But eventually I want to get enough subscribers on that channel where I can start doing live streams. I mean, I have almost 1,400 subscribers on that channel, which is awesome. But I'd like to grow that a little bit more because again, that's a big lifestyle thing for me. But I do live, trust me, Fisk, it's not like I starve myself or I don't eat stuff that I like. I'm not sitting there trying to shove some kind of tilapia down my mouth. I do not like fish. So I'm not trying to sit there and eat that because I'm like, oh, this is healthy. Trust me, I eat things that I like and things that I could, live on, which I do love ground turkey and chicken. And ham is another one. I'm big on ham. L.A. Lou, thank you, brother. He says, Fisk has a point. Watching what you eat, denying the good stuff, you'll feel like a damn fool lying in a hospital dying of nothing.
Basically.
Yeah. Nah, I don't deny the good stuff, L.A. Lou. I told you. The other thing is, with me, I don't want to be laying in a hospital bed, overweight and obese, and having a heart attack when I'm 60 years old and ready to retire. See, my son is 41 years younger than me, so me trying to live as healthy as I can, not just the quantity, but the quality of my life, so that when I am 62 and I retire, hopefully I can retire sooner. That'd be great. But I can still do things with my son. Like that. That's what I want to be. I'm 41 years older than him. So I'm not going to have grandkids. I better not be having any grandkids till I'm almost 70. So I got to be alive.
And I'm actually happy you told me what you do because I thought for somebody spread a rumor that you work for NASA. I don't know why I thought you worked for NASA.
Philly 500 been saying that. I don't know where.
Philly 500. I knew it came from somewhere because I was like,
it is. He always jokes around about me working for NASA, and I don't know why.
Because I heard that I was like, oh, Baddog.
No, I work for New York. I work in the finance department in New York State for the New York State Department of Education. Yeah, I don't work for NASA. I ain't smart enough to work for freaking NASA. I don't know why he says that as a joke. I don't know if that's like supposed to be an insult. I'm like, you're giving me a huge compliment saying I work for freaking NASA, that I'd be smart enough to work for NASA. I ain't smart enough to work for NASA. I'm barely smart enough to run this damn YouTube channel, So
yeah, and that's the thing too, right? Like somebody asked me like a couple weeks ago. They said, Fisk, they said, how do you determine success on YouTube? And I said, well, it depends on what you call success, right? Because it's like, I know a lot of people who have channels like Baddog that are like 100,000 subscribers and they're miserable because they don't have 1 million. And then on the flip side, I know a lot of people who have smaller channels like me who are just happy their bills get paid every month. So It's like YouTube is real funny, like, because YouTube, it's all about how you look at it when it comes to success, because some people don't care about the money, they care about the numbers. So this YouTube is out there, like I said, like man, I might shoot a cousin to get 100,000 subs like Baddog. I ain't gonna lie. There's a couple cousins I might get rid of to get 100,000 subs. But at the same time, I haven't had to worry about a bill in 4 years because of YouTube. So it's like I might be a smaller channel, but the bills get paid. But on the flip side, there's people out there who have money and have good careers and aren't on YouTube for the money, and they're on YouTube to be million, 2, 3 million subscriber famous, and they might have 150, 200,000 subs and they're depressed, and they might think their channel's a failure. So it's all about what you want out of YouTube, and that determines if like you're successful or not. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny? That's just anything in life. That's the same thing at the gym. I mean, people say this, whatever. It depends on what. I always tell people, you do what makes you happy. If trying to get 1 million subscribers on YouTube makes you happy, then go for it. If being like I am, where I'm trying to get to 8% body fat makes you happy in the gym, go for it. But if you'd rather be 18% body fat and just be a really lean, athletic guy, go for it. If you don't want to work out and you don't care what you eat, as long as you're happy with yourself, that is all that matters. That's why I say on my YouTube channel, I'm like, listen, I do this for fun. It allows me to live out a dream that I've always wanted to do. A lot of this is play by play. I never thought I'd get close to 100,000 subscribers when I started doing this. When I started doing this back in 2008, this was way different when Cop Pizzle and I were here when it started. Way different than it is now. There was no StreamYard. There was no OBS. There was no streaming games. There was no collabs. It was videos, and that was it. And the money wasn't there with YouTube. But, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I don't want to get a silver play button. I think it'd be cool. It's quite an accomplishment. But I just love calling games. And I love being able to talk to guys like you and talk to Giants fans. And I like to be able to come on here and vent, too. Like, I like when I'm pissed off, I like to be able to come on here and vent and say, have guys in the chat go, yeah, I feel you, Baddog. I mean, I understand. I'm pissed off, too. Like, I'm sick of it. It's nice to have other people, like other shoulders to cry on, because they say misery loves company when your team is bad. But when your team is winning, it's also good to come on here and celebrate with 1,000 Giants fans. I think that's awesome. I think it's cool that I can talk to you. Where do you live? North Carolina?
Yep.
Right. So I think it's cool that I can come on here with you, talk to you in North Carolina. We can put on a show for the guys. We can have the conversation and debate. We got 500 people in the chat giving their, hanging out and giving us their opinion on shit. And at the end of the day, like I said, our opinions differ, but we all want the same thing. That's what's really cool about YouTube. That's why I enjoy what I do. 100,000 subscribers. That'll be cool to say that I got that. But at the end of the day, just being able to hang out with the real fans and even the haters. That's one thing you and I have in common, Fisk. We don't give a shit.
I love
people
my haters.
think, and I'll tell you this,
I love
too.
my haters.
I'll tell you this, Fisk. This is the way I look at it. When haters leave comments, it means a lot to me. You know why? Because it means my opinion holds weight with them. My opinion means something. If my opinion meant nothing, they wouldn't bother commenting. Even though they hate this stuff or they don't agree with me, and they'll come on here and say, you're a clown, you're an idiot. Obviously, my opinion in my video must have held some kind of weight.
Just admit you love us.
Exactly.
I say that to my haters all the time. Just like you hate me more than some people love me.
Yep.
You sometimes the haters, and I'm sure you have a couple of haters like this, Baddog. They be the first ones to comment on the videos.
Oh, of course.
They be right there with the fans, and I'm like, just admit you love me. It's okay. It's okay. Just
some of your best supporters are your haters.
Yup. They really do. They be the most diehard ones. They be every stream. They be the first ones to comment on the video just to talk shit to you. They be the and that's another thing too, right? That's why I hate when people turn their comments. You are soft YouTube if you turn your comments
up there.
You are soft. I have no respect for YouTubers to turn their comment section off.
Yeah, the whole point of being on here is for people to comment on it. to watch you and give you the comments, good or bad. It is what it is. Like I said, all comments count the same. So, hey, you don't like what I said, but I'm like, well, you watching? Like, I have one guy who's an Eagles fan. He's like, oh, Wayne Ball, Giants fans, opinions irrelevant. I'm like, yeah, you watch every damn video I do. So my opinion must not be that irrelevant because you watching everything and commenting on everything I do. So my opinion must have some relevancy or you wouldn't be here.
Pretty much.
Memphis, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Banking on the Yankees. No, I'm not banking on anything. I'm hoping like hell they win it.
Oh, my goodness.
But I ain't banking on
all right. I get optimistic for the Giants. I do. I'm very optimistic when it comes to the Giants. But when it comes to the Yankees, I just know we're going to lose to the Astros, so I don't fucking bother. I'm sorry. My bad. I didn't mean to curse on your show.
No, it's good. It's good. Don't worry about it. I understand. I feel the same way. Everybody's like Yankees, Dodgers, Yankees, Mets. I'm like, I'm not afraid of the Mets. I'm not afraid of the Dodgers. I'm not afraid of any team in the National League because I'm afraid of the Astros.
Yeah, we're not going to beat the Astros. Like, I give up. Like, I really give up.
I'm not going there yet, but I actually made a video. I'll tell you this. I made a video talking about after the Astros swept us, talking about how they have our number. And I'm scared of playing Houston. I am. I'm not lying, and I'm not making excuses for the trash cans. I said we scored 1 run in 4 games in Houston. That had nothing to do with trash cans or buzzers or whatever the hell you want to talk about. They just beat us. They're a good team.
Jose Altuve celebrating, trying not to get caught with the wire was kind of bad, though.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Chapman threw a terrible slider. The thing was hanging. It was a terrible pitch, and he hit it out of the park. But I will say this. I had so many Astro fans, and I don't know if that video caught on like an Astro fan page or something. I had so many Astro fans come to that video and just compliment me, saying, you are the most rational Yankee fan. Thank you for respecting us. They're like, I think we'll see you in the ALCS. They're like, we're not counting the Yankees out, but really appreciate your opinion. So I don't know where that caught on, but like there was a lot of Astro fans that came to that. And listen, I don't like everyone's like, oh, you must hate Houston. Why? I hate the Red Sox. I'm a Yankee fan. I hate the Red Sox. There is no other team in baseball that I hate the Red Sox. Plain and simple. Houston just that we can't beat them. So they scare. I'm scared of them. I don't hate them.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's like the Eagles before we got Daniel Jones, right? Because they beat Eli Manning for what, like 6 straight seasons.
Yeah, I can't. I couldn't stand the Eagles in the 80s, man. I hated Buddy Ryan. I hated Mike Golick. I hated Seth Joyner. I loved Reggie White. I can't lie. Who's Clyde Simmons? I hated him. I hated Andre Waters. I hated that. I hated everything about Philadelphia.
Me and Lord Brunson made a bet, it's a $100 bet on the first game the Giants and the Eagles play, right?
Yep.
And it's all dependent on if our quarterbacks are healthy because he got me last year because Daniel Jones got hurt. But the thing is, if I win the money, Baddog will doing the vlog, and I'm going to buy a Dawkins jersey. I'm going to buy something to eat with Lord Brunson money, then I'm going to buy a Dawkins jersey with that Lord Brunson money. And I'm setting it on fire.
Nice. Do it. I hated him too. I hated him too. I'll tell you what, on Louis T stream, I did pick us to beat the Eagles in that first game. That I can tell you.
Daniel Jones plays great against the Eagles and the
Washington.
He's got to step up versus Cowboys, but like
he does own Washington.
His best games come against Washington and Philly.
It's true.
Like, damn, if the kid just didn't fall on the 80-yard run.
I know.
I'm like, sheesh.
Yeah. I hate the Eagles. I can't stand them. But listen, guys, it is 12:15. I've kept Fisk.
Oh, wait a minute. One more thing. Before we close out. I need your Laker takes. Russell Westbrook. The Baddog. Please agree with me on this. Let him play out the year. It's so stupid to trade for Kyrie Irving when you can get him next year for free. It's so dumb that Laker fans want to give up 2 first-round picks to get a guy who you could just sign next year when you let Russ walk out the door. Please get my back on this.
I agree. Russell Westbrook's going to be a Laker. I tell all the Laker fans, just expect him to be there. He's playing out his contract. And I say that. Why do you need to trade him? You don't need to trade him. He's going to walk next year. Let him walk. You should not have to give up. You should not have to give up more draft picks to get rid of that guy. Just play the season out. Hopefully the coaching Frank Vogel was a terrible coach. I said,
Horrible.
just let Darvin Ham do what he's got to do. Russell Westbrook can't be worse. I will say this. I talk about this in Lakers streams all the time. Russell Westbrook going to Los Angeles never faced that kind of pressure because LA is like New York. You succeed in Houston, nobody cares. You succeed in Washington, nobody cares. You succeed in Oklahoma City, nobody cares. Nobody cares if you're good or bad there. But you go to Los Angeles and you have the name Russell Westbrook and you're getting $47 million a year. Oh, them fans are going to expect you to perform up to your level. When you don't, they're going to wreck you. LA fans, just like the big market fans are like that. Boston fans, Philly fans, Los Angeles fans. You don't perform up to standard. They will love you if you do, but God, if you don't, they're going to get you. They don't put up with the losing.
But here's the thing too. Russell Westbrook. I've ever had a trash Russell Westbrook than deal with whether or not Kyrie Irving feel like playing or not.
Yeah,
like he's the wrong one.
I agree.
I get y'all want to get rid of Russ, but don't sell your soul for Kyrie Irving.
No, I agree.
Not him.
I agree.
Not him.
They don't need Kyrie Irving. I agree.
Especially when you can get him for free next year, because if Russ walks out, that's $47 million right there.
Yeah, Lakers gonna be much better cap space next year. Much better.
If they give away them 2 first-round picks 5 years from now, they stupid.
Yeah, and LeBron might not sign the extension. So then what are you gonna do?
He should sign the extension.
But I'm saying if Westbrook walks and Russell and they got no, if they trade Westbrook and they have no first round picks and LeBron walks, what the hell are they going to do? So
that's what I said. I said, like, at least if you make Westbrook happy, right? So if you make Russ happy and LeBron walks, at least Russ and AD are semi-competitive.
Yeah,
they can get you to the first round.
Right.
I mean, you don't got a first round pick for 5 years. I've ever lose in the first round than be incompetent.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. But listen, guys, it is 12:18. I kept Fisk here long enough. Fisk, I want to thank you for coming on and having this debate. You the man, you know that. And like I said, man, it's all about winning. Let's just win some damn games. I want Daniel Jones to ball out as hard as you do. I know every fan in this chat wants Daniel Jones to have that magical year. We want to win games. It's all about winning here. We need to win. We deserve to win. We have dealt with so much shit over the last 5 years of this team. It's time for a change. Hopefully Joe Shane and Brian Daboll can bring that change in here, and we're going to start seeing some better football. That's all we want as fans. So again, Fisk, I appreciate you coming on. If you guys haven't subscribed to Fisk Vegas, please do so. His link is the first thing in my description. So any last words, my man?
No, look, just listen. Giants fans, it's hard. I get it. It's been a rough 5 years. But just let your hair down, have some damn fun.
I don't have any hair left. My hair gone.
Oh, I ain't got no hair either. All right. just let loose.
There you go.
Let loose. There you go. You don't have to be so pessimistic. Just allow yourself. It's like falling in love after a divorce. Allow yourself to love again, okay? I put it to you this way. I've ever be sad, bump that. If they lose, you're going to be depressed anyway. At least be happy for the first month and a half of the season before you go into depressed mode. That's all I'm saying. It's July, Baddog.
It is August. Yeah, August.
If you can't be excited about your team in the preseason, then God help you. At least allow yourself to be happy for at least the first month of the season.
Yeah, I'm hoping the Giants season lasts longer than the Yankee season this year. Because it seems like by Halloween we're talking about the draft. I don't want to do that this year.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The Yankees have looked unbeatable this year. If we don't win it this year, I'm gonna be pissed. Yeah. I know the Astros are the Astros, but I mean, my freaking goodness, this Yankee team was like historically great for like a 2-month stretch, and I'm just like, at some point, damn it, like, damn, like just like, damn, we just win like 100-something games the other year, and we still, like, I'm ready to go to bed. I don't want to talk about the Yankees.
I hear you. Fisk, we'll do it again soon. But guys and girls, thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. We had over 500 in the chat tonight, which is freaking awesome. Enjoy the rest of you. I'll probably be live for the Yankees and Cardinals tomorrow. If you guys want to swing by, probably about 8:10 or whatever, I'll probably be live for that game. Hopefully, if not, I'll let you know. I'm not going to set anything in stone, but I do plan on doing the Yankees tomorrow, so hopefully we can do that. And Fisk, again, thanks for coming on. Guys and girls, enjoy the rest of your night. If I don't see you tomorrow, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we out. For Fisk Vegas, it's a bad day.